my girl. You're the type of woman to make a man get right. You're my world. You keep my mind spinning all through the night.
Good morning, good morning, good
Good
morning.
morning.
I'm Jalen.
And I'm Casey.
And welcome to the Jalen and Casey Show.
Wednesday edition.
It is Wednesday. So, as always, let us know where you're watching from. Drop your city, drop your country, drop what time it is, where you're watching us from. We love to hear from you. We are finally getting some warmer weather. We're excited about
Finally, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Virginia just went through record lows.
And snow day, multiple snow days.
Yeah,
it was
we don't.
weird.
This part of Virginia,
Yeah, we don't.
where we live,
Yeah.
Hampton Roads, we don't get weather like that very often at
Exactly.
all. But yeah, it was just cold and no sun. It's just
Yeah.
very, very depressing. I'm not going to even lie. Very depressing. But praise God,
Yeah.
we are finally seeing some daylight. Starting to get warm, just
Yep.
a little bit. We still ain't
Yeah.
there yet. But
we're getting there.
Yeah, we're getting there.
So let us know what's the weather like where you're at. All right. So today's topic is couplepreneurs or couples at business, married couples in business. And as a married couple who are running a business together, have done this with several different businesses actually. So we're gonna go through our history a little bit. We have some insights on that and why a lot of times it don't work out.
Yeah,
They
don't
say,
do it.
They say
Don't
they
do
say
it.
don't work with family. And we're going to find out don't mix love and business. And we're going to find out where all that comes from. Is there truth to that? And can you navigate it? Can you make a difference? Can you do something different from everyone else? But anyway, let's talk about our sponsor, Audible. So we want to shout out Audible today. Audibletrial.com/Jalen and Casey is how you can get access to a 30-day free trial of Audible Premium Plus. They're sponsoring this podcast. And if you click that link in the chat or go to the link in our bio to get the link, you can get access to a 30-day free trial of Audible Premium Plus. Get access to plenty of awesome Audible titles, whatever you're into, fiction, nonfiction, self-help books, motivation, all of that. There are plenty of marriage books that we promote all the time on this channel, such as Marriage on a Rock by Jimmy Evans or the 30-day Newlywed Marriage Devotional by Chris and Jamie Bailey. Awesome books, all audio books that you can listen to on Audible. So we encourage you to go ahead and cop that today. Audibletrial.com/Jalen and Casey.
Cop.
Yes, that is, I'm millennial. These are millennial terms. I feel like this is the year of millennials. I feel like
I haven't heard that in a while. And yes, I do agree to that. I think this is the year of millennials. I think
you
we're
get that
coming
vibe?
back.
Yeah.
We're coming back.
I feel like we're kind of,
Yeah.
T.I. dropped the song. And not that I listened to T.I., but I'm just saying, like, I just feel like millennials are coming back.
We're making a comeback. Like, we're here to stay. We are here to stay. We're living longer, stronger.
Yeah.
You know?
I just feel like
Yeah.
this is, we're entering millennial season. So I get that feel. Anyway,
I see that.
audibletrial.com/Jalen and Casey.
Oh, man.
Praise God. Millennial marriage. We can do an episode on that.
Millennial marriage. Ooh.
That'd be cool. All right. So real quick, guys, you know the drill. You can super chat. You can do the Facebook stars. You could do the TikTok goal that we've got. We got goals set on all our platforms except for Instagram because I don't know why Instagram lagging. But everybody else, we've got goals set. If you do the gift goal, you get to choose the next topic for the next episode. All right. So this episode is actually thanks to a super chat donation on YouTube. This topic has been chosen. So what we're talking about today is couples in business, or couplepreneurs as they call it. You put the word couple and entrepreneur together and you get couplepreneur. Isn't that fancy? So let's talk about it. What's it like being a couplepreneur? What is your experience been since we've been married?
Stressful. Takes work. Well, here's the thing. If your marriage is already on the rocks, like if you already are not good with communication, and we talk about communication, you're going to hear that word so much.
Oh, yeah,
like
100%.
it's just everything to marriage. If you have a hard time communicating, have a hard time agreeing, getting into business is not going to make it better. The thing about being in business, you really have to discern the strengths of each other and know what they are, because, and I'm going to use this term, roles. The roles you play in your domestic life as husband and wife may not be the same in your business life. And you have to be okay with that. Case in point, the wife might be the boss of the business, and the husband has to recognize her ability to lead the charge in business and be okay with that. But understand that once you're done with business for the day, you guys switch back to domestic, husband and wife. You know what I'm saying? Like,
whatever the dynamic is, because that look, anybody who's been in ministry, it's the same thing. And you could talk about that from having parents who are pastors. You know, like you got to try to divide parent from pastor. Like, and that's what people will say. Working with families sometimes doesn't work out. You get your emotions involved. But with couples, if you don't have a strong dynamic and a strong sense of what's I want to say, like self esteem, I guess, because if you're easily offended, once y'all start working together, you know, y'all going to get on each other's nerves even more so.
Yeah.
Because who you are when you're just chill with family, with the kids, things like that, may not be how you are. You may be more aggressive when it comes to business, you know, and if you haven't seen that side of your spouse, you know, that might rub you the wrong way. And you made a good point. So I'm going to go kind of, as we, you know, hit these points, I kind of want to also go through the different businesses that we've had as couples, you know, and let's talk about this. What would even be the reason for doing this together? Here's the thing. I am a fan of couples working together. I'm a fan of y'all building something together. Yeah. And it doesn't have to be an incorporated business where you're paying taxes, corporation, LLC, whatever. It can be y'all doing ministry together. Y'all do outreach together. Y'all go volunteer at a soup kitchen. Y'all open your house and bring couples in and talk to them. It can be going out and feeding the homeless. Like it can be anything. Yeah. I feel like it's
something
good for,
organized
yes,
that you both are passionate about.
That takes y'all getting together, sitting down, writing out, planning, having goals, and achieving those goals. That's what I like to see couples do together. And that can easily be done in the form of a business. And I'd like it to be something that couples do before they have children. Because sometimes the only thing that a couple ever builds together are their children. And I think you should have something else, a baby before the baby, something that you guys can kind of iron out. Because if parenting is the first thing that y'all work together on, you know, I feel like y'all haven't had and I'm saying you can't, people get married to have babies instantly. But I just like to see couples when you're younger do something else first. Y'all can learn how y'all build something together. This is a preference of mine. But, you know, not everybody's a business person, and that's fine. But that's why I like seeing people work together in business. So when we got married, the very first project we had was opening our home and bring couples in and preaching and sharing the word with them, because I felt like the Lord had put in my heart to do that. So we did that, and immediately there was planning. Okay, we didn't have furniture, so we had to get furniture. The Lord provided. You quickly came up with the menu of, okay, we're going to give them food if we're going to do this. So you have food, and you had experience with this because you had seen your parents do this for years, bringing people into the home and all that. And my parents were always big on outreach, so it was something that we were both kind of savvy-ish at. We had done it before. And so we hopped into it. We made plans. We set a date. We invited people. And it was a quick division of labor. Like, all right, I'm doing this part. You're doing that part. Then we would sit down before and work out the lesson of what we were going to share with the people. We discussed it amongst each other. And then we'd go and we share with the people. They'd come, they'd eat, they enjoy it. Then afterward, we would sit down and talk about how it went. We talk about the food. Did they like the food? Did they like the drinks? How did we do with sharing? Was something we could do better? Did we talk over each other? Should we be better planned? You know, we're receptive, all that kind of stuff. So it was a project. So that was like the very first thing that we did together. And no, it wasn't a business, but it was a project that required both of our skill sets. And in doing so, what I like about being in this together is you get to see each other's skills and strong points, and you get to see others' weak points. But you build this admiration for your spouse because you get to see them in their element when it's something that they're good at, which is why whatever it is that you guys do together, if you're going to start a business together, there's got to be something in there that you're good at. You know, it can't be all just one person. Otherwise, that person can run the business by themselves. All right, so let's fast forward, or at the same time, when we got married, you were already running your business. If you want to talk about that.
Yeah, I mean, look, the strengths in our marriage is this. I'm a creative. I have ideas for days. I'm very creative. I'm artistic. I am, I can be almost impulsive too, but I have an idea, like I want to get it done, execute a certain way. And I'm very particular, very detailed. He, on the other hand, is more organized in the sense of being able to kind of write those things down in a logistic way that actually works. That's why he handles all of the paperwork. He handles all of the, instructional forms or whatever we need to kind of execute stuff. So we know that. But our biggest strength is being able to communicate and talk to one another. And when it comes to business, not be so offended at, or not being offended at all, but holding on to our own personal ideas. Because our interest is making sure that the project gets what it needs and is executed to its best of its ability. what was the question again? 'Cause I think I lost train of thought.
Yeah, you can answer. I was going to go because it was good, but I asked you to talk a little bit about your business because when we got married, you were already in business.
I was already in business. Yeah, I had been in business for a long time. I don't know. When I met you, I been in business for, I don't know, 10, 12 years at that point. I don't remember. But the point is, I was in business for a long time, and I had my system, my way of doing things. Not that saying that it was the most organized, but it was running, was functioning. I kind of wish that you were more involved in it, you know.
So what happened was we got married. You were running with it. You were doing your thing.
Yeah.
And I had started a separate business based on my writing because I had ghostwritten a book for someone.
Yeah.
I decided to spin that off into doing a business, doing more writing. And it was going and everything. It was cool. But then I just got this check in my spirit that our energies were divided. I was trying to build one thing and I was like really getting good with the social media stuff. It was looking good. And I think you were asking me to kind of like help because you saw how good my stuff was to help with your stuff.
Yeah.
And something just didn't seem right. Like it was just checking my spirit like, okay, she's asking for my help and I'm doing good over here. But work with me here because spiritual and logical. From a logical standpoint, she's got something that's up and running. She's already got clients. She's already got the place where she's doing hair and everything. She got the salon. It makes more logical sense to focus our energy on the thing that's already running and just build it up better. And then with the proceeds from that, we could pour that into another business. You know, so that you got to use logic of what's already up and running and yielding results. Because when y'all get married, again, you may have talent, you may have skills, things like that. But it's like, all right, does one of us already have something going or have a presence in this industry that it makes sense to put our energy there? Because if you both are skilled in different ways, but your energies are divided, it's like, well, you're wasting time here. Like, you got to get employees, right, at some point. So if you're creative with your business, right, but you're not good with numbers, at some point, you're like, as I expand, I need to get an accountant. I need to get someone who's good with book work. Okay, but if I'm good with that, why don't we just utilize me? You don't got to pay me immediately, right? So instead of hampering the growth of your business because you don't have that skill set there, let me use my skill set there. Even if I'm working a 9 to 5, if you've got this going, I can use the time that I do have extra to go ahead and help the business grow rather than putting it off for you to have to employ somebody else. That's the logical side. On the spiritual side, I just realized, okay, I knew that what you were doing in the salon was a part of the grand vision of our lives. I knew it before we got married. So I'm like, okay, she's already doing it. I got a new idea that I think does in some way fit into our grand vision, but why not? It makes more sense to do one thing at a time. It also makes more sense to support what you're doing here and make you not feel alone, because the division that could come from me starting to succeed at what I'm doing and you had this thing rolling and you're kind of dying on the vine because you need help. And I'm just like, well, I'm too busy with my thing. Didn't make a lot of sense.
It's a snowball effect. You know, you build the one that's doing well, doing strong. You build that, and then you can roll that over into something else. Like you said, if your energy is divided, then that's where the strain comes in. But just kind of going back a little bit, working together as a married couple, you're going to have to do all the principles we preach all the time here on this channel. Communicate, have those things. And you really got to have discernment, again, about the strengths of your spouse. We've dealt with couples where the husband just didn't appreciate what the wife brought to the table. He was so bent on doing it his way that her ideas just didn't get a second thought. But he was struggling. The whole time he was struggling. And we're saying back like, well, why don't you use your wife? She's good at that, you know? But no, I want to do it myself. And I feel like in that situation, the husband just didn't respect the wife. Sometimes that's what it boils down to. You know, one or the other may not respect the spouse. You know, the wife may not respect the husband, and the husband may not respect the wife, because the tricky thing about being in business with one another, we have the hindsight of who we are behind closed doors. And sometimes we let what we know behind closed doors affect us working in public business. You know, we let the fact that he don't pick up his socks off the floor determine his competency in business. And so we let that annoy us so we can just shut him off. Like, I don't respect you because you don't know what you're doing because you can't even pick up your socks off the floor. So how can you run a business? And I hear you, wife. I hear you. Okay. But that's not the same. My husband has a lot of things that I wish that he would do better domestically in the house. Pick up his socks. See that he don't close the chip bag right. All the things. But I do recognize that he has a good sense on his shoulder. Like, he got a good head on the shoulder for business. Like, he's very logistical. Like, he can learn pretty much anything really quick. Like, he works well with people. Like, I have to recognize that and turn the domestic stuff off while we're in business, and appreciate what he can do, his strengths and weakness. Like, appreciate his strengths. And the same goes for him too. There are a lot of things about me that I know annoys him, that he wish I just do better. But he understands, when Casey get in front of people, she talk, I don't think I talk so well, but I can do things. I get people to do things. Like, that's a strength that you recognize. And I am a good leader. I don't say that arrogantly, but I've worked in enough positions, enough leadership positions to know that I'm a good leader. Yeah. And people like working with me. Now, I may be very bad at organizing my closet. Like, I'm telling you all my secrets. I am bad at organizing my closet. Like, that is a thorn for me, is my closet. He is better at that. He's better at those things. But he don't let that disrupt his ability to see my strength and my leadership ability.
Yeah. So you mentioned someone not respecting the person's skill level. Then there's another way it goes. I saw a couple do this, where the husband wanted his wife to be involved with what he was doing, but he was putting her on something that wasn't her skill set.
Oh, yeah, that too.
And so she was frustrated and kind of wanted to draw away from the business just because the task that he needed help with this task, it was like bookwork, something like that. And he needed help with the task. So he was putting her on that, but she just didn't like it. And I guess she felt like she wasn't very good at it. And so but at the same time, they needed somebody to do it. And so it was one of those things of like, well, it's got to get done. And there's only two of us. We don't want to have to spend the money on an employee right now or to outsource it, because the business is small. So it's better we work together. All that logic makes sense. But what you can do is burn out one spouse if you try to get them to do something that they're not really good at. Yeah. And that really shows up with creative businesses. There's another couple where they were doing creative stuff, like it was like social media influencing kind of stuff. And they were good at it. Like, their content was great. They were naturals and all that stuff. But only one of them was the creative one when it came to visuals, right? So this one was the one that did the heavy lifting with the cameras and the editing and stuff like that. The other spouse just had no knowledge of that stuff. And it wasn't that spouse wasn't able to learn. They were willing to, but it was not their skill set. So they were trying to, and this is a key point here, they were trying to make the division of labor even, I mean, they had a lot to do. They had jobs, it was kids, all that kind of stuff. So they were trying to make the division of labor equal. So it's like, okay, I need you to edit videos just because I'm editing videos too. But the one was just not good at it. The other one was. But the other one was feeling overwhelmed because they were the only one doing it. So they were getting frustrated with the other spouse because they're not helping enough. And, while I was looking at it, I was like, I see what you're saying. But the answer isn't they need to do more editing. The spouse that isn't. The answer is maybe I just need to turn down the workload, because at this stage of life, you just can't keep up with this production of this influencer business as well as your jobs. Because what happens is you get frustrated with your spouse because you want the division of labor to be equal, but it's not ever going to be equal. You got to lean to strengths. Exactly. So with what we do, my strength is all the technical creative. So that means the cameras, the editing, the shorts that get posted, all that stuff. I do all of it.
I just show up and be the talent.
Exactly. She shows up, sits down. The lights, the camera, the action, that's all me. All right. And so you would look at that and say, well, the work's lopsided. Jalen's doing all the work and she should pull more of her weight. That's the wrong idea. That messes up couples domestically and it messes them up in business, because you're just trying to have everybody do 50-50 because you think that's what partnership means. No, partnership is everyone working their strengths. I bring my strengths to your weaknesses. Her weakness is the technical side, okay? So my strength is technical side. So I do all the technical. Well, doesn't that mean you're technically doing more work? Well, sure, but I don't care, because we're not trying to, this isn't a competition.
At the end of the day, if you're talking the likes of this YouTube channel, the views are here. Whatever views we get, whatever monetization we get, is a result of both of us.
Yeah, that's the thing.
It's not just because he does a good job of technical stuff that is working.
If I was up here by myself, we would not have the same reach. We would not have the same effect. It works because we're both here.
Exactly.
Okay? Matter of fact, there are a series of videos and courses that she does solo. I'm talking about the single woman stuff and the Dream of Purpose stuff that she excels at, that gets more impact and reach than if I was to do something separate. Okay. So in my mind, and we don't talk in these terms, but I think I have a film background. So I think film, TV shows about that. In my mind, she's the main character. She's the star of the show, right? I'm the supporting actor in the show, right? In my mind. So when we're publishing content or doing stuff, I generally think Casey-centric when it comes to how we're pushing the content and how it's showing and all that kind of stuff, right? Because that's how I'm working from a production standpoint. I'm like the production manager of this thing. And so her focus on just being on camera is that. Now, what I do is sometimes I'll push her and be like, I want you to come up with an idea for this topic. I want to do this video, whatever, but this one's a solo one for you. I need you to put some creative energy into the content of whatever it is we're going to do. I got all the technical, but this is what I need you to focus on. So I want her focusing on what she's good at, and I will carry the weight of what I'm good at. And it's like, okay, but it's more. That's fine. But when you're building a business, it's probably going to be lopsided like that, but it's only lopsided if you look at it that way. Ultimately, as you grow, you can begin to hire people to do things. There will come a point where we will have somebody on staff who will do all the editing, who will do all the social media posting. And then I'll have way less to do in that regard. And then I'll just do more production managing from a content perspective. Okay. And then that'll take some of the workload off. But for now, building a business,
hiring.
It's fine. Exactly, right? Anybody want to do it for free $99? We'll take an intern. But anyway, so that's how it goes. So let's just use an example of what we're doing. You know, flip side, when I started helping your business, finishing that story, I shut down what I was doing, the business I had started. And I said, you know what? I'm going to focus and put my energy on her salon business. So what I began to do was focus on the marketing. I worked in sales. So I took my sales background and began to put that to work on what she was doing. She was doing the heavy lifting of all the stuff in the salon. She wasn't getting mad and saying, Jalen, you're only spending a couple hours a night on this. You should come into the salon with me and do equal lifting. No, that doesn't make any sense.
I would not have a business if that happened.
Although I always said, I could probably shampoo hair. I shampoo your hair pretty good, and a woman would probably like that. Yeah. Probably wouldn't be good.
Wouldn't be good for our marriage.
But I'm saying we could have got more clients.
At all.
But anyway.
Wouldn't be good for our marriage.
But anyway, this is a joke. But anyway, so on the flip side, she's doing heavy lifting because she's spending 8+ hours in the salon doing hair. She's putting a physical toll on her body. Okay, I was still working my 9-to-5 job, but in the evenings or on breaks, I would focus on the social media. I'll focus on ideas for campaigns, ads. I remember one time we set up a whole ad. We ran an ad campaign. You got clients from it. These were ways that I was helping grow the business. So I was taking my energy and helping her grow the business that was already running rather than dividing my energy and focusing on a separate business. Okay. And so that's one way that couples fail is you got too many businesses at once or too many ideas and projects at once. Pick one thing at a time, make it grow, and let the proceeds that come from that activate the next thing. Okay. And then the next thing and the next thing.
Well, again, redundancy is important here. This only works if you and your spouse are on the same page.
Exactly.
Within the confines of your home, you have to have trust when you're trying to walk into business with one another. You have to trust each other. And even if it's something you've never done before and you both new at this and you're learning together, you still got to trust each other in the process. And it takes a lot of prayer. I mean, I know of people who are within the same field. We know a lady, well, you work with a lady that she's big time. If I drop her name, you probably know who she is. But she has a business, very successful, and her husband's in the same field. But they can't. She said we can't work together. So he works for another corporation within the same field. And because she's a very headstrong person, like she's very headstrong. And no doubt she loves her husband, and you know they've been married for a long time, and they found their balance of power. They found how to work with one another, which is great. So they knew that from the jump. Like I can't work for my wife because we would not be married today if I worked for my wife. So I don't think there's a carbon copy way of how to run a business together as husband and wife. But you have to have agreement no matter what that looks like. You have to have agreement as to what each person brings to the table. Yeah, and I mean, look, being in an actual, again, incorporated business together may not be the best thing for y'all. It may not be.
I know that couple you're talking about, they run two separate businesses very successfully because they know themselves. However, I've also watched them do Bible studies.
Yep.
They did like a mobile church thing, like whatever like that. I see them doing ministry together all the time. That's where it works. So again, you know, this whole couplepreneur thing, y'all may not be doing an actual profit generating business together, may not be it. There are some people where like, the man, he's a tycoon of industry in his head, like he's successful at it, and the wife is like, I'm a stay-at-home mom, I take care of the kids, I run the house, I manage his house very well. His industry, that's nothing to do, I'm that's not me, and that's fine. You know, never feel like that everybody's story is exactly the same, but there should be something that I think that every couple should be able to build together. Sometimes that is, I don't say just, but it's just the parenting. You know, y'all build a family together, and that's great. But if you are feeling like you're called to business and y'all are very business minded, or one of y'all is very creative, one of y'all's got the business mind, it's like, look, we could do this for our family and we could build a financial legacy for our family if we got together on this, then you should learn how to do it. But you're right. And one of my notes here is, if your relationship is weak, your business will be weak. Absolutely. And one thing we said when we started this YouTube channel is, if it's ever got in the way of our marriage, if it's ever put strain on our relationship, we would shut it down. If the Lord ever said to shut it down, we shut it down. Even when we were doing ministry, it was the same thing. If anything ever got to the point where it felt like it was more weight on our marriage and we were falling in the principles of our unity, then we would shut it down, because the marriage comes first. Someone asked us years ago, how do you balance your YouTube channel with your marriage? It's like, well, the marriage is the hub, okay? The YouTube channel is an extension of this marriage. Out of this good marriage came the YouTube channel. Out of this good marriage comes any and all businesses. And so if the marriage starts to suffer, then we need to clip it. We need to prune that branch and say, okay, we're not doing that right now. Maybe we can later. Maybe we need to just back down the speed at which we scale this. But you can't scale a business if your marriage can't scale with it.
I mean, we've had seasons of that already.
Yeah.
Where we were not as active here. We had to say we had to dial it back.
Especially when we had JJ.
Especially when we got pregnant with him and he was born and life. I mean, I don't know if we did anything during that season. I can't remember if we did
what I did was, and we didn't even have a deep conversation about it, but we were good at catching each other's signals and things like that. So what I did was, we made a lot of videos while you were pregnant. Probably not weekly like we had been doing before, but towards the end of the pregnancy and once he was here, I began to do a lot of short videos. I think that was around the time I started posting shorts, YouTube shorts that just came out, or maybe Instagram. And there was something else I was doing. I think I might have been recutting and re-releasing some videos, but I kept the channel alive while we were working on like our first year of parenting.
Yeah, because we had a lot of back content that we could draw from. But yeah, I don't
had to pivot.
Yeah, we had to pivot because I didn't do anything social media wise during that first. I don't know. I feel like 2 years.
I feel like
or so.
Yeah, I do feel like before JJ, you did help a little bit more on the social media stuff, but definitely once he was here, once you were pregnant, like it was all me at that point, and I was fine with it. And that's the other thing, catching the shifts of life, okay? Because and we talk about this with marriage, but what you agree to domestically when you get married before kids is going to change after kids, and the same thing with business, you know, which is why you want to, if you're doing a for-profit business or even a nonprofit organization, maybe it's a ministry, you've got to really talk about the money here. Because if you take too long for it to start generating profit and it's just all y'all putting in y'all sweat equity and it's like, we love doing this, at that point it's kind of a hobby. And you got to decide, are we really trying to scale this into something that our family can live on? Because if so, as we shift, as we have kids, as we get older, as we gain other responsibilities in life that we're not even considering, if it's always going to be on the shoulders of the two of us, it's going to get harder to execute as this thing grows. So we got to be serious about this and identify quickly. We're going to need office space because we can't just do this in our home with our kids running around. We're going to need employees. You got to talk about these things. You got to talk about your goals. And you got to set goals like, all right, by the end of this quarter, we want to see this much money coming in. At the end of this year, we want to see this much coming in. We want to have this employee. We want to have this equipment. We got goals this year for this business. You know, we know what they are. And as we're at every live, every month, as opposed to social media, we're seeing things. Things are increasing, things are growing, but it's like, this is where we need to get to if we're really serious about this. Because if we're not, this is just a hobby, which is fine. But
yeah, we got to identify, is it a hobby or is it a business?
Exactly.
Because, there are a lot of businesses out there that are actual hobbies.
Yeah.
And people want to treat them like they're some CEO type, corporate, we can make a lot of money, but they're handling it like a hobby. And that's where I see some married couples fall into this frustration because the husband got this business, but the wife see it as a hobby because it's not producing anything, and it's taking time away from the family, taking time away from them being married or being, happy together. But he's so all into it. It's frustrating because she don't see the vision that he has for it. And so it's frustrating. And she's like, this hobby he got that he's calling business is not working out. Why don't he just turn that thing off? Don't he see that we have bigger needs here? We have bigger pressing matters that could use his focus. But he believes in this dream. And this is where you got to learn how to find balance. Like talked before in the beginning of this, I had a business when we first came in, and I've been in that business for a long time before we got married. Now, it's been 6 years since I've been behind that chair. This June will make 6 years that I've been behind the chair in a salon. And we decided that it was time for me to walk away. 1, I just gave birth to my son. 2, COVID was in full effect. And the Spirit of God was drawing me away because he needed to reset some things in me concerning that. And sometimes it's necessary for you to shelf your idea or quote unquote dream for a season and get order in your life. Find out what the real priorities are in your marriage and not be so busy trying to grow something that's not producing because you're taking away from your family. You're taking away from your marriage when you do that. And if you ever want your spouse to get on board with your business idea, you're going to have to win their trust. Whether it's the man or the woman, you got to win their trust by showing them that they are the priority, that the family is the priority. Now, I'm not talking about a woman or a man that's selfish. There's some selfish people who just, I want all the attention. You can't do anything without me. I'm not talking about that. But if your family life, if your marriage is suffering and your wife is sitting over there like, babe, can you not do that? Do we have to do that? Why are you going over here? What? Are you making money from it? No, but it will though. It will. I can see it. But you're spending more money than you're making. Like, we need to dial it back. Yep. We need to dial it back and figure some things out.
Yeah, sometimes, and that's the thing, like vision, right? And we talk about it all the time, especially in our submission episodes about the man having a vision, things like that. But did you ever get your wife on board with the vision? Did you ever pour this into her heart? Or wife, you've had a vision that's business. It's like, have you ever really laid this thing out and shown? And then the goals and the pathways. And here's the thing. You got to get some education too. If this is really going to be a business, because you can't just say one day, we're going to get there. I need goals. Here's the funny thing. I'm kind of that guy. Like, she was doing her salon business, but and she knew what she wanted to get to. But when I started getting involved, I'm like, okay, well, we need goals. Like, all right, you're saying right now,
like, stop doing this,
exactly.
Stop doing this. And I'm like, what?
Because to me, for me, I like math. Like, it's a math problem, right? So if you're saying, okay, I want a bigger salon space. Okay, how much does a bigger salon space cost? Okay, let's write that down. All right, now, can you afford a bigger salon space? Well, no. All right, how are we going to get that bigger salon space? We need more money. Okay, these are the amount of clients you have on a weekly basis. This is your black book of clients. Okay, either we need more clients based on your prices, or we need to increase the prices on your current clients, or maybe we need to do a little bit of both. Okay, so we now know we have 10 clients. We need 20 clients to be able to afford this space, or to afford an assistant, or to whatever, buy new equipment. Okay, so this is how many clients we need. All right, so step 1 is, before the end of this month, we're going to put together an ad campaign and go get clients. These are goals you're setting out that you can write on paper together. And that's even like, let's say the business is all one spouse, the other spouse really just has no interest in it, or it's not something that they really could get involved in. They can get involved on that side, just from the family side of like, all right, this is where we're going to go by the end of the quarter. This is our projections. All right, we're going to do some market research. It's like, and if your eyes start glazing over when you hear those terms, breathe, pray in the Holy Ghost, and say, we can learn anything. Yeah. We can do this. The skills let me give you an example. We're live streaming on like 4 different platforms right now. I'm using a software to do it. We got a camera right there, microphones here, a light there. We did not know how to do this stuff when we first started. We built up there. We started out live streaming on Facebook. Short form content wasn't a thing back then. Nope. We've pivoted and grown and changed and flipped and done things. I've learned skills with technology that I never knew that I had. And it hurt you. Like, It takes time.
It takes time.
But you do it when it's better together. Sometimes your support as a spouse, if they're doing everything in the business, your support is just to kind of help them push them. Like, hey, did you put some hours in today on this? Well, look, let me help you. I could do some research. Or like, I may not know how to do what you do,
and do
but I
what
can help
and
you
do
what you
what's
do.
manageable.
Yeah.
We had to learn how to scale back a lot of
Yeah.
stuff. Even on this channel, we had to learn how to scale back stuff that was actual manageable for us to do. You know, I remember early on we started doing daily vlogging.
Yep.
Oh my gosh. Now it sounded like a good idea. It was fun. This is
The
before we
trend was
had
going- it
this
was,
before
you know,
JJ.
Yep.
And we was doing it. And but at some point we realized this is a lot of work. People who daily vlog, this is a lot of work to have content every single day. And then you got to edit it and put it together. And we're working 9 to 5s in the midst of all of this. Like
Yeah.
it is work, right?
Yeah.
And then you got to have content, that's interesting, right? And the day we stopped, it was a moment I will never forget it. It was like, oh man, we haven't shot anything today, and we're spinning our wheels trying to think of something to shoot that's interesting. And I'm like, no, this ain't for us. We can't do this. For one thing, we have to be authentic. Like I don't want to make anything up just to get a view. Like that's just not our style at all. But we was like, this is a lot of work.
Yep.
And this is not for us. It's maybe every now and then we could do a vlog, every once in a while. But this is not us. And we haven't vlogged, like I said, before JJ was born. And so that's been over 6 years now. And we had to just dial it back. We was doing too much. We was vlogging and we was doing a podcast at that time. So we was doing a lot. And have a 9 to 5. I'm working in a salon. He's working, his job, and it was team too much.
It's funny. I think about the amount of energy we had back then. It's pre JJ.
We could not do
I'm
it
like,
now.
man, if I had that now, what we're doing now, doing this full time, it's like, man.
We did not. Oh my gosh.
But some of the things are trial and error too. You don't get offended. It's like, okay, that we tried, it didn't work. Move on to the next thing.
But you
And a
gotta
lot
know
of
when
that
to
will
let
happen.
go.
You do gotta know when to let go. You gotta know when to cut something off.
Yeah.
You gotta know when to let go of your business. Well, it's time to move on. And that was a bigger, harder thing to do because you had established so much and done so much. But you just got to know, and that's why all this got to be led by the Spirit of God, because He's got to be the one directing your moves. When we first got married, I had a business idea I was working on. Even before we got married, it was actually an invention. So it was like a lot of like pre-work, and I had to put that on the shelf. I believe it was from God. I still think about it all the time, every day. But we need to work on our marriage at that time. So it's on the shelf until the day that I can get back to it. I also realized it's something that takes resources to even put the time and energy into design. And it's like, okay, we need to build up resources first with something else before you even put into that. I also know this thing is something that you probably would not have anything to really that you would want to bring to it or be involved in. So it would be a solo project. But we've gotten to a point now with our marriage and our relationship that even the things I do solo, she has input on, she has wisdom and guidance on, even if she doesn't know the technical side of it. She has, the Holy Spirit uses her to give me input and instruction that helps me guide in these types of things.
Yeah, mainly in the area of like, how is it going to affect you
True.
mentally?
Yeah.
Can you handle this mental load? Sometimes we are unaware of our capacity for things because we're just so used to shooting from the hip all the time.
Yeah.
I get an idea, let's do it. I have an idea, let's do it. And that's not always the best way. It's really not the best way to do anything, really. Especially if you got to take from something to make it happen.
Ideas are fun, but a business requires planning and discipline. And sometimes we avoid doing that because it then becomes unfun.
Yeah.
And we just enjoy the fun of it. Again, if you want a hobby, just have a hobby.
Yeah.
It's fine. That being said, I usually see this where a lot of wives today, and that's why y'all on TikTok, because y'all are very talented at different things, whether it's baking, whether it's plants and vegetation, whether it's crafts, whatever. And these husbands be working these 9 to 5s, and sometimes it just feels like they're robots with their heads just kind of down, just focused, doing the daily grind. I'm like, do you see what your wife is doing over here?
Yeah.
Like, pour in, tell her to keep pushing that. Like, that could be something great. Y'all could work together on that. She could be the face of it. She could be the hands on it. But yeah, like help her push that thing. Like, you know how much people are making money on social media just, getting followers on this stuff? Like, figure it out. But a lot of times,
and I think that's the thing that helped me when we move forward back into the salon space because, spoiler, I will be back.
Yeah.
Don't know when yet, but
Casey will return Avengers Doomsday.
I will return. Okay. But I hate, like, I can create all day. I could make up all day, hair all day, coming up with ideas, all these things. But then when he started pulling out the books, well, we need to do this. I'm like, oh my God, now you sucking the very life out of me. I don't want to have to do that business stuff. You know, like, can we just streamline it? Can we figure it out? Now I've gotten a lot better with that, because it's necessary, right? But instead of me doing it alone, he takes over that part because it's our thing. It's not just my project anymore. It's our thing. It's our project, and I'm going to lend my strength to it. So husband, if you're watching this and you got a wife who's very creative, but you see that, oh, it could be better if she focused more on the logistics, business side of it, do it for her.
Yeah.
You say, well, do it for her. Don't complain. Do it for her. Help establish her. Set her up. You know, now wife, I will encourage you to learn, you know, but husband, do it for her. This is your woman. Protect her by helping her get her business in order, you know, and wife, be open to some correction, be open to some guidance. You know what I'm saying? Because it will help you grow as well. But everything has to be done in love and in trust. Yeah. And you also have to put a boundary around your business and your marriage. It can't be all business all day long. Yeah. You got to set time.
That was my problem.
Yes. And I mean, we're still working on that. To be honest with you, we're still working on that part. Like, this is the business over at 5 p.m. We're done. Okay. Get off the laptop. We're done editing. We're done talking business. And the rest of the day is for us. And we're not working every single day of the week, you know, and that creating that balance can be challenging sometimes, especially if you're working together in business. And especially if it's a business that you're doing inside of your home, it can be challenging, but you have to turn business off and be husband and wife, or be the parent, especially when you have kids. You know, you have to really find this balance. And I'm not going to say it's going to be always easy, but you have to put deliberate intention on it.
Well, it's funny. We had the 7 pillars of marriage, and my mind is running right now. Is there a version of this for the 7 pillars for business as a married couple? Maybe. But we talk about, and boundaries, you set boundaries in place so that you'll ever violate, right? And end up in a bad situation. We got to do the same thing with your business, with your marriage. Boundaries of like, okay, we start at 5 p.m. And what that means is, if you got a boundary that you agree upon, if the work keeps taking you past 5 p.m., what does that mean? Yeah. It means you got too much work. And so if it's requiring you to go past 5 p.m., then you need to scale back something you're doing, which hurts if you're like a high productive person. You know, when we first started, and I may not have solved this problem yet, but maybe hopefully I'm better at it. But like, I was ready to go, create. Even if it's not a money-making venture, when I have vision for something, I just want to go. Like, we started this YouTube channel. It wasn't a money-making venture, but I was still like, okay, we need to make this many videos. We need to do this, that. And every day I come home, she'd be like, I'm tired. I don't feel like making a video. She had just got the salon or whatever. You'd be so annoyed. And I'll be so annoyed. Like, come on, we got to produce. We got to make this. The audience is waiting for more. You can't just be here and there and all that kind of stuff. And I'm that guy. And again, when I hopped on her business, that was my thing. Like, okay, well, we need to get these clients in. So if we go a week and we have not made progress, like, what have we done to get another client? And it's like, well, then what are we doing? Like, we need to, that's me. I get extreme. I'm like, either we're going to shut this down because we're not making money, or we're going to do what it takes for it to start making money, because just sitting here spinning our wheels is doing nothing.
Again, because I am an artist. Yeah. And artists are very sensitive. And we are moved by our feelings. We are moved. We have to feel it, you know. And that was my thing. And I'm still that way, but I have disciplined myself more that I can't move on my feelings. Like, I got to do business, even if I don't always feel like it. You know, I made a commitment. I gotta do what I gotta do. But I am definitely one of those people. If my feels ain't there for it, it just ain't happening.
So, and I think you gotta kind of, this is what I do, and this may not be it for everybody, but I feel like if you're trying to figure out like, well, what should we be doing to get, maybe y'all business minded people, maybe y'all have a goal of financial freedom from your family. Y'all don't want to work the 9 to 5 forever. Y'all ain't trying to be in debt forever. Y'all want freedom. Y'all want to be able to have control of your destinies in your work day. We've had that since the beginning of our marriage. Like, we do not want to just be stuck in an office or working in a field. Or we want to do what we want to do with our time and our family. And that's your goal. It's like, okay, what do we start with? We have a lot of ideas, a lot of talents, ideas for days. What do we start with? Again, if something's already up and running, I like putting energy into something that's already up and running. I think it's just smart. And then you can build from there. Also, what excites both of you? Or if you're someone who's like, I'm business minded, I can get excited about anything. If it's generating profit.
I was about to say, everything doesn't have to be a passion project.
Well, that's what I'm saying. For me, I like productivity. So it doesn't have to be something that I dream about when I'm asleep. It's just got to be productive. I'm trying to productivity. So if you're that spouse, then y'all can pick something that the other one who's more creative is passionate about. So sometimes I'll have ideas for days and I'll bring them up and you'll be like, okay, cool, whatever. And I know it's not clicking. But then you bring something up, whether it was for a business idea or not, but that it's passionate about, that you're passionate about. And I'm like, cool, here's the thumbnail. Here's the YouTube channel. I'll come and say, I already made it. Let's go. Like, while you're talking, I've got the social media channels up. Let's make it happen. I'll put a camera in front of you tomorrow. And I've done that before. But it's like, I can attach to anything if I can see the value in it. And so sometimes it's like, okay, for me, it could be anything. So I'm going to find out where she's excited. And that's what we're going to work on today. That's what we're going to push. And again, personalities are everything. Your personality type is you could shift from one thing to the next kind of thing. And sometimes I've had to kind of ride that river until we settle in on something. But then there is that moment where you guys decide to make a vision and you got to get disciplined, you know, and it's a push and pull. Like I said, we've done multiple different projects, businesses, ideas, outreaches over the years. And it could look like y'all see this, oh, you're so successful. You got 8,000 subscribers on YouTube and 15,000 on Facebook. It was a rough road getting there, you know, and we're not done yet. But it's like, if we could show you all the things we started and stopped, whether it was on this channel or somewhere else, it would look like a history of failures, like a graveyard of ideas. But they were all building towards the synchronization that we have now.
We were definitely learning.
And that's business in general. Yeah. That's marriage in general. And that's couplepreneurship when you do it that way. It's going to be that way. So don't flip out if it's like, dang, 3 years in, we've started 3 different ideas and they all failed. They weren't necessarily failures. If you're growing and learning from it, it was growth. It was figuring it out. We found 100 ways not to do it. I could go through, this is maybe the second or third time we've tried to do channel memberships until we find out how we want to make it work.
And I mean, but the bottom line is, if your business is causing strife, it's either the business or y'all need to work on your marriage some more.
Yep.
And that's just the bottom line. You have some comments here.
Yeah. So let's, what do we got? We can read them off.
We got, I don't want to say your name wrong. Is it Kadik?
Or Kedik?
This is kind of early on. This may be the challenge I'm facing. Our energies are focused on 2 different things at the moment, which is frustrating for me. Yep. That's what I mean. You know what he is capable of. You know his strengths and his weaknesses, and you try to push them to work on their strengths, but they seem complacent.
That happens a lot. That
happens a lot.
A lot of times I see that from a wife to a husband. Because what happens is a lot of husbands just get settled in the provision for the family and working 9 to 5. And
we just saw a
video where Liz complaining about that. We should have saved it. But and what will happen is, if everything's safe, some people are not natural risk takers. I'm a natural risk taker.
I am not.
I'll blow up the stability of what we have for the risk something greater. But there's a lot of husbands who aren't that way. We got something stable. It's not worth rocking the boat because, you know, we could lose. We could lose our family. We could lose our possessions. We could be put outdoors, stuff like that. And so a lot of men, what you see is complacency, is they're just trying to secure things. And a lot of times pioneering something, building something new, runs counter to security. It just does. You can't sometimes have both at the same time. But if that is important, in a way you can build financial security in a way where it's like, okay, we're going to take this risk, but the family said we have enough savings built up to where we can take this business risk or we can take this move. But if it doesn't work out in 6 months, we got 6 months savings put up to do this, then we can go back to what we were doing, you know. Some people you have to do like that. And some people are just risk takers and you just hop out and say, we ain't got no backup plan. We're just going to do it. It depends. Everyone's different. But I have seen that a lot about the complacency thing.
Crochet, Cozy Crochet said, great advice. I'm the same way, then burn myself out.
Oh, the creative thing. Yeah.
We have to find, this is Kadik again. Please let me know how you say your name. Pronounce it, because I don't want to say it wrong. We have to find a balance that doesn't just benefit just us individually, but our family as a whole. Absolutely. Right. And Cozy Crochet said, I feel like there isn't enough hours in a day when it comes to my art. I want to spend my whole day crafting something, but the kids have to, I think you said eat. That might be eat. Yes, I get it. And for creatives, a lot of time, and it depends on how your brain mind process. For me, it's this gestational period is what I like to call it, where I'm contemplating the idea in my head and I'm thinking about it and
Yep.
it's growing and growing, and that might take hours or days. It doesn't matter. But when the spark hits, it's full on.
Yep.
It's on. And I want to just stay on it until I am done, done. And it's not real. It's not reality right now. Because I got to be a wife. I got to be a mommy. I got to be a minister. I got to be, a daughter. I got business to handle. I got people. I got to do business meetings, obligations, things that distract me from what I really want to do. And it could be very frustrating. But what I've learned over the years is, again, creating that balance, allowing myself to have maybe an hour a day to focus on my passion projects, and that may not be enough for me. I would love to have more time, go away somewhere quiet where nobody's calling my name, but I have to learn how to be happy with that, because that's the season I'm in right now.
Yeah.
And then move on to my next thing.
That's what I'm saying. Goals are important, and then the boundaries come together, because, using Cozy there, like I'm assuming you're talking about crochet things. That's I know your YouTube channel's on. So it's like, okay, I like doing this. There's enough hours in a day. Maybe if you're trying to like monetize it, really go. It's like, I see the people who are doing it and they're making this much money doing that. I know I can do that. But the problem is I've got kids. The problem is I got a husband and they don't have all those things. So it's like, how am I supposed to ever do it? You can do it. You just have to do it slower. And that's painful sometimes.
It can be
You got to scale based on what your life actually looks like. You can't do what you can't do. And so it's like, okay, these are my goals. It's not going to be 10,000 subscribers. It's going to be 100 subscribers this month. It's going to be 20 subscribers this month. All right. And I can only spend 2 hours a day on this. Everybody else is spending 8 hours, but I can only spend 2. But if you have the boundaries, you have the goals, you can still meet them. You can still be productive. It's just at your pace. And then trust the Spirit of God to multiply what you're doing, the seed you're sowing.
I about to say, you got to just be there. Her name is Katie K.
There you go.
It was so easy. I can see that now. Why did I not see that?
I said that actually as an option. I didn't say I knew for sure.
Okay, Katie K.
Yeah.
But I'm starting to get back into the beauty business, and I launched my Instagram, Beauty by Casey. Go follow. And I don't have the kind of time that I want to spend on it. I was just telling you yesterday, I'm like, man, I need some days off, because we're here. We have our podcast. We have 3 podcasts that we do a week. And in between that, I'm a mom, and I got to spend time with the family, and I have other business obligations, other obligations I have within my church, all these things. And I don't have a full day to focus on makeup and launching my channel and doing all the things that I have planned for it right now. And it can be very frustrating. So I'm like, man, if I can just spend more time, if I could post 10 videos a day, like if I could, I would blow up so fast that I can get this done. But I have to be patient. I felt the Spirit of God pushing me back into it. This is the path. And I have to trust that He's going to do what He only can do. But I just need to have, it's like a storehouse. So right now, my Instagram is a storehouse for where God's going to take me. I had to open the storehouse. I had to build it. I had to put it there. And just like this YouTube channel, we've been here for a long time. And we crept up. We didn't have all the time to do it. But now we're here. We're able to focus on it full time. But it's taken us almost 10 years to get here. Yeah. To get to the point where we could actually spend full time on it. But we've been consistent in some shape, form, or matter, fashion.
And season. That's why I said, when you first get married, okay, you don't have kids, you got a lot of energy. Sometimes I look back and wistfully remember the times where we didn't have our son. I was like, man, if we had the experience and knowledge and wisdom we have now, with the time and energy we had back then, and it always feels like you're missing. Now I have the wisdom and the knowledge, and the social media system is perfectly set up, but now I don't have the time or the energy. And you get annoyed, but it's like, you work with what you've got. I could do a lot more if my son was more independent. One day he will be. And you got to think long term in terms of years. Again, is this a hobby or is this a long term thing that you're going to do forever? Because if this channel's never going away, there will come a day when our son is 10, 12, 16 years old, and we'll have more time to focus on these things. He may even want to help with some of these things. It'll be a job for him. And so these are the things that you got to think about long term, but sometimes we can only see what's right in front of us. And in our world of social media, where we see everyone growing and blowing up every day, we feel like we're running like oh man, like I'm missing my opportunity. The trend is now and it's blowing up. And 5 years, 10 years, not going to be here. There's always going to be something here.
Yeah.
There's always going to be a new trend. In all honesty, when we started, YouTube Shorts is not a thing. YouTube Shorts is a major part of our strategy and across all our social media platforms, social short form content. We're blowing up now in a way that we never did before due to that. So sometimes you got to recognize what God is doing. You saying God created vertical short form content just for you and your channel?
Yes.
My daddy does that for me. He creates technology. He sets the ages by his word. And when we've been praying and confessing certain things for our channel and for this ministry of what we're doing, God is shifting the nation, shifting business people and technologies for us so that we can do this. The way live streaming, how stable it is now, technology, there are things now that you used to have to pay a lot of money for to try to pull off. There's a camera in your phone now. We remember where it was not the case, where you can now get quality videos off your phone, off your webcam. You can get a 4K. There are things that did not exist before. So stop thinking I'm running out of time and realize every day and every year that goes by, technology is becoming cheaper. More doors are being opened, more opportunities. There are new things happening that are opening the door for me, and the Lord is setting it up for me. That's the vision we have. And that's why we don't have fear about how long it takes, because we're going to get it done. And that's it. Doing this without the Spirit of God, just like marriage, it's going to be very hard. It's going to be stressful. You're going to be afraid because you feel like I'm running out of time. I don't have enough time. We have all the time we need. You know, I'm about to get some super spiritual concepts here. So I'm gonna
look. If you and your spouse, I don't know if we got on trail a little bit about being in business a couple. If you and your spouse are hearing from God to walk into business together, before you just launch out and do something, take time to fast and pray. Fast and pray, and ask each other, what is the Spirit of God, telling you about it, and talk about it. All right. And then set guidelines, set deadlines for things, set a vision for it, and then work towards that. Now, set a budget of time that both of you are going to spend on it. Okay. Because again, it can't, if you got a family, you got kids, you got your marriage, that's important too. Like, set a budget of time. We're going to spend this much time a day working on it, whether it's learning about the business that we're going to walk into or setting up strategies to promote it. Whatever it is, spend time together praying about it. Set a budget of time to work on the business before you just launch out there and put something out there. And now, because you might blow up. There's a lot of people who put something out there, blew up overnight, but then it was short-lived because they didn't have the foundation to uphold the demand.
You got to understand something. Sometimes the amount of time it takes, the way the Lord dispenses the ideas to you, and, feeling like you ain't had enough time, a lot of times the Lord's protecting you. Yeah. Because, again, like you said, in today's world, it's easy to go viral, easy for your business to blow up, and you can't keep up with it. I remember the saga of this lady that made some kind of hair product, and it blew up. But she did not understand the finance side of it, the inventory side of it. She ended up underwater. People were coming after her, calling her a fraud, stuff like that. And then she ended up having to ask people for money to bail her out. And it was a whole thing. She blew up. It was great at first, but she wasn't prepared. And sometimes God's protecting you because you ain't prepared yet. And in this season of slow building, years and years and years, you're learning things. That's why people say it's in business, just stay consistent. Especially with social media work, stay consistent because you're growing and you're learning from every step of the process. And you may think you're ready for the blow up, but you may not be ready for the blow up yet.
May not be.
And God's protecting you from something that would actually destroy you, destroy your marriage. Because again, what is important to God? Your marriage is supposed to expand the kingdom. And if you're doing something, even if it's making money, if it's not ultimately going to expand the kingdom, if it's going to destroy your marriage, God is not a part of that. He's not interested in that. He may be telling you to pull back, slow down, so you can strengthen your marriage. And then he can. Here's something I know. And what keeps me grounded, I know God can flip the switch like this.
He can.
Any moment, the right person can see what we're doing. The right person can send the right amount of money. He can give us the right product idea. It can happen like that. I'm not worried about the social media algorithms. The Holy Spirit is my algorithm. He can get it to wherever he wants. That's what I truly believe. I look at the Bible. Was it Philip? Philip, that he was preaching somewhere and then God translated him and then he was somewhere else. And God can move like that. So when I'm working and building, I'm not caught up on, am I doing just the right techniques and strategies? Because I got the Holy Spirit with me. And if I ain't blown up yet the way I think, if it's just building slowly, then this is the way to go, because he can flip the switch like that. So my part is to be properly positioned for that moment if he chooses to do it that way. And if it's a slow build, then that's the best way to do it, and that's the safest way to do it. So you can take away the anxiety of it, but never let it become bigger than a marriage, and never let it collapse the marriage.
Amen. So comments, Katie K says, we have one child and in his teens. The challenge I have is I believe in God, and I believe that in order for us to be successful, we have to live a life that is in obedience to God. And sometimes I feel that there are some things that seem more like a hobby to me that he does that is taking away from our marriage and time spent with God and the time spent with us, and it's not even bringing in much. Yeah, we mentioned that early on. Yeah, and I see that a lot of times. You know, and usually it's the husband got a project that a wife just don't believe in, and because it's not fruitful and it's not bringing anything, and you know, we don't know your relationship like that, but wife, pray. Your intercessory prayer works, and if he's really passionate about this, and if you're the type where you're badgering him about it or complaining about it all the time, he's turning his ear off to that. That's not going to get to his heart. I don't know what to tell you. I don't really have.
Well, it's different for everybody.
It's different for everybody. Yeah.
You know, that's why we don't generally give like deep counsel on there, because you never know the full story. But I've seen scenarios where we've talked to couples, and it's like, okay, husband, you need to put this on the shelf, and it's a legitimate business, but your marriage is suffering, your family's suffering. You need to refocus. And when the time comes, come back around to this together. Then there's the other side where the answer is, wife, you need to come into your husband's world.
Yeah.
Maybe it is just a hobby right now.
Yeah.
But one thing we talk about, releasing some videos right now about it, is that when a wife catches a vision, she expands it. And he may not see the potential of it. There may be potential there. And what's going to happen is what's being waited on is for you to get involved and transform into something bigger, to make the light come on and realize, oh, this is something that can be better. And you and a family can come in together on it together. I remember when I was a teenager, my dad had a business, and me and my brother were doing our own thing. And the Lord just kind of dropped in our spirits that we should help our dad's business with the skills we had. And so we came to our parents and we did a business meeting with my brother. We were like, these are our skills. It doesn't really match with your business, Dad, but we think we can help and do commercial stuff like that. He was excited. And so we brought our energy to it. And so it could be that. It could be you getting into his world and assisting. So what the answer is ultimately, I can't say, but like you said, pray, intercede, but also keep your mind open to the possibilities. Because it could be a little bit of both. Now, maybe he does need to come back out and come up for air and spend more time with his family, but you going into his world and enjoy, let's just say it was gaming. Let's say he wanted to kind of be a pro gamer, and so he plays a lot of video games. Maybe you getting into his world. You don't see how this could work. He ain't that good at it, but you getting in there and learning the games when I'm playing with him can kind of build a camaraderie. And the answer isn't that you're going to help me a pro gamer, but the answer is you getting into his world helps him kind of bring him out. And then the family starts to grow from the strength from there.
You never know, but I will say this: challenge your offense towards it.
Yeah.
Because God can't intervene if you're offended by how He's handling this. And you may say, "Well, I'm not angry," but it is an offense because it's frustrating. If it's frustrating you, it is an offense. It's an area where the devil can use to bring division in your house. So clear up the offense in you. Forgive your spouse for not having the attention span that you want in your relationship, all that stuff. Forgive him. Ask the Lord to forgive you. Get before the Lord about it. Ask the Lord, how can I help my husband? How can I be a better wife to him? And you say, well, he's the problem. How can you react? How can you interact? Go before God about that. Lord, how can I position myself so that you can enter into this scenario and get the glory out of it? And he may tell you do things that seem like, you said before, serving the man, getting into his world, because you got to get in there, like you said, to help bring him out a little bit. I don't know the answer to it, but I know that's what I had to do on several occasions in our marriage. And we would, coach other marriages as well. We encourage them to do the same thing, because sometimes we're offended at him or her for having this passion about something that's not producing.
And it kind of worked. It's a slightly different variation of this, but again, when we were making videos before we had JJ, like I was like, let's make more, or we had a scheduled shoot date, and you would be tired and didn't want to do it, and sometimes you would cancel and be like, let's not shoot today, and I would get frustrated, and I was like, okay, this is a repeated pattern. I keep getting frustrated. She's not changing. All's happening is I'm frustrated for no reason.
Yep.
Even though I feel like it's a good reason, I want to build this channel.
Because I'm not shooting today.
But it's like, I said, what? So one day I remember, because you just watch TV. You just wanted to chill and defrag and just watch TV and veg out on the couch. And so I said, I'm going to do it with her. Because normally I'll be mad and then go off and maybe work on the channel some other way. Just do something else and just kind of separate from you. But I said, you know what? I'm going to sit here. And I remember the day I did it, I was annoyed inside. But I said, you know what? I'm just going to come and chill with her, relax with her, and be with my wife. And so I did that. And what began to happen was I stopped getting frustrated, and it ended up just being a matter of timing. And so we were just spending time together, enjoying each other, watching TV together, watching shows together, having our opinions and our theories. And it just became a pastime of ours watching shows together. And then fast forward all these years later, you're the one that comes to me and say, I've been praying and we need to start doing these live broadcasts. And now we've got this schedule. This was your idea. This sounds like a Jalen idea from back in the day.
My idea.
To shoot 3 times a week. When you gave me the idea, I'm like, yo, I'm excited. Like, yeah, let's do it. Like, this is something that I would love to do. And yet it comes from her. And it's a timing thing. This wouldn't have worked back then, but it's working now. And it's patience. I would have loved it 8 years ago, but it happened 8 years from then. It's life. It's what happened. And the Lord knows the timing of everything. I just had to be patient. If like 8 years is a long time to wait, well, a lot happened between then. It's not like nothing happened. It's not like we didn't grow. It's not like we didn't do
I always tell
things,
people, no one has outwaited God.
Yep.
God waited 4,000 years to get Jesus here, so we all can be saved, and we still act like knuckleheads. Okay, so ain't nobody outwaiting God on this. So you can wait however long for the thing. I mean, you got time. You can wait. You're not gonna miss anything that God ordained. Okay? If you're following his plan, if you're doing his will, you're not going to miss anything. And you have to trust that. And whenever you feel that anxiety, or like it's not moving too fast, it's not happy, it's not doing all the things, understand that the devil is trying to get you out of a place of faith and resist it. Resist it. I believe in confessions. I believe in affirmations. You speak over your wife or your husband. You speak over your marriage. You speak over your business. You speak over your home. And you set the tone. Wife, you can set the tone for the atmosphere of your home. No matter what your husband's doing, you can, because the Spirit of God lives on the inside of you. You can make a difference on how you handle things.
Yep.
So instead, like Jalen did, instead of being offended, just sit down and enjoy. And then here we are, 3 days a week. So it takes time.
Sowing seeds and getting a harvest. It takes time. It's not always fun per se, but you make it there, especially if you just enjoy life. Understand, we're not going anywhere. Enjoy life. What we got?
Comments. Katie K said, which one you
What
read?
Cozy was saying, very true. Don't break off more than you can handle. What did Cozy say there?
Oh, yeah, everyone one can have a podcast. Some of us shouldn't. At one point, the only live broadcast we had available was the radio and public access television. Tech has came a long way, and that is so true.
Very much. Very
true.
much.
Katie K said, yes, I am praying and fasting. Keep doing it, girl. Yes, rest is so important, Cozy Crochet said, especially together. And then Katie K said, his world is a lot of gym stuff and heavy lifting and TikTok and IG. I've tried to get into the gym life, but I felt like I was going to die.
Look, again, I don't know your story like that, but I would get into it with them. It's healthy for you. And I will say this, and I can't speak for your man, whatever, but when we're into something and our wives get into it, we get excited. Now, here's the thing. We're kind of equally into gym stuff, so it's not like one of us coming to each other's world. We do it together, but you do like it when I'm there with you at the gym. You prefer it when I'm there because you're like looking at me and you like me helping.
But nowadays, I kind of like my me time by myself in the gym.
Finally.
Yeah. Okay.
That's funny. But yeah, so I mean, look, you said you feel like he's going to die. I don't know. I'm just saying the gym thing, that's not a bad way to get started, and people love the gym couple content. I'm assuming he's posting and stuff like that. I'm just saying.
I mean,
hey, that's a way to get started. But that's funny. He's in the heavy lifting. At least it's a healthy-ish hobby. It can become unhealthy, but at its core,
yeah, there are
hobby.
people that I know that spend way too much time in the gym. Like, it's their whole life. Like, there's things outside of the gym. I get it. And if it's not your thing, you just like.
I've tried, again, I'm the idea guy. I've tried multiple times to get her to like do a certain kind of initiative with fitness content. And I'm like, look, I'll do the edits about that. We got this. But
it has to feel organic for me.
Yeah. That's the thing with her. I'm like, could you just be a little fake?
No,
could
I
you
can't.
be a little fake and we can make a lot of money?
I cannot. It has to be organic for me. If it's too many steps, I'm not doing it. Like, I'm not retaking this 10 times to make it look right. No. Like, I post some of my gym content every now and then. I have another Instagram. I got like 1 million Instagrams. But again, it's very organic, and it's if I want to.
Yeah. I
don't always want to. I don't have to.
Yeah.
I don't have to. Everything is not content.
Damn, we made a YouTube channel for fitness stuff one time. Wow. Back when we was at CrossFit. It still exists. It's out there.
Wow. We
did it. I don't know what it's named, but y'all could probably find it. It's out there somewhere.
But that's funny. Okay.
It was funny. I was just thinking yesterday, kind of off track here, of the method that we use for all our stuff. I was like, I was thinking of a way to do it with fitness. I think I look at your video that you had made. And I was like, can you live stream while at the gym? And then you make the content from it. I just carry the phone with you and just live stream at the gym. And I was thinking doing it for myself, tested it out. But I was like,
I don't see. There you go.
I'm just, my phone with my work. But I got to focus on one thing at a time. I got to focus on one thing because I'll be everywhere. And then the Lord has shown me that, like, you got to build one thing first and then build from there. That's just branding.
Kenny K says.
Yes, he's posting, yes. But I work remotely for at least 14 hours a day, and by the time I'm done, I want to sleep. But tried the gym stuff for a whole month, and I just felt violated. Maybe that's the wrong word, but I wasn't happy. Oh, my goodness.
But you know what? Gym life, look.
Yeah.
Both of us share, I won't even say passion. I think passion is a strong word. But I like feeling strong. Yeah. I like being in shape. And I've had my ups and downs with that, different seasons of my life. Right now I am in a season of recovery, and so getting back to what I consider myself, but I give myself grace. But it used to be a time where I used to hit the gym 6 a.m. in the morning because that's what everybody did, right? Yep. That's what you do. But I wasn't married at the time. I didn't have a kid. I could do it, even though it really wasn't my favorite time. Like, who wants to be in the gym at 6 a.m.? That's just not me. I'm not a quote unquote morning person, but I did it for a good while. And then, it waned, and I've been in gym different times, but now I just found my perfect time. I'm in a season of my life where I can go at the time that works best for me. Yep. And that's the afternoon, like when the gym is like empty. And, now we're at home working together. You're able to be home with JJ. So I get to go by myself and have that time, that 45 minutes or an hour for myself. So that's my perfect time. Like, I'm awake, I'm alert, I'm motivated, I can do it. 6 a.m. just didn't work for me. I had to find my time. So if you're not a gym girly and it's not your thing, it can be. You gotta find the thing that really works for you.
Well, I was about to say, we've especially as a couple, we transitioned to different things. So there was a time where we had a walking thing where we were just doing a lot of walking. Yeah. There was a time where we did more running. There was a time when we were in the CrossFit. I really enjoyed that. Then we did powerlifting. We did a whole powerlifting competition together. Yep. And so we do all this stuff. And I'm like, this would have been great content to document. But a lot of it y'all don't even know about. But we, did that. So there's different ways, especially if y'all want to do stuff together. You
don't have to go hard all the time. I think that's the thing that we feel like social media makes us feel like we got to go hard all the time or don't do it.
But we found ways to kind of like transition into what are we both interested in at this given time. And again, we just happen to have a lot of shared interests with this stuff. And it was like, okay, we discovered CrossFit. Let's do CrossFit together. We discovered powerlifting. Let's do powerlifting together. And we try it and we move on to another thing. One thing we learned is we can't do one style of fitness 20 years straight. Like our attention shifts and we get interested in different things. So, I don't know what kind of lifting your husband does, Olympic or powerlifting or just heavy lifting. But, there's all kinds of things you could do.
Now we're talking about fitness. Says, I'm in bed at 6 a.m. Girl, nowadays, yes, I am. But last year I did a lot of walking. I had to get up around 6:30, have my walk time. And that was my time of praying. I walked 4 or 5 miles at least every other day. So, and it changes, it really changes, but I'm always working on something. So for me, 6 a.m. in the gym is not the time. Okay. I'm usually in the gym around like 12:30, 1 p.m. But if it gets around 4 or 5, I don't want to be in there either.
Yeah.
For one, it's too crowded, and I'm ready to kind of slow down my day at that point for me. Now he'll go in the gym in the evening, and we used to go in the evening together, but I was like, it's not for me. So now we're on separate schedules as far as the gym is concerned, but we're still working out together on some shape, form, or fashion.
And Katie said, I'll try it again because I want to first and foremost please God and work on our marriage, even if it's in the gym. And one thing I want to say is when you start praying and listen, like, Lord, what can we do? How do we, sometimes, just like me, sitting down on the couch with you, and that doesn't even seem like it's healthy per se, but sometimes there's something already going on that God will just gently nudge you and say, just do this. And it seems counterproductive. A lot of times we have the answers to work on things. It's just we're using too much of our logic and it just doesn't make sense. Like how is sitting down and watching junk TV? Like sometimes we would watch reality shows and it was stuff that I would always criticize, like, oh, this stuff's so stupid. But we got involved and we would start laughing and joking and it just brought us together.
And now I can't watch certain shows without you.
Yeah, exactly. And so it's just like, it just is what it is. You know, you got involved. I was watching anime. You started watching anime with me. And so that, like, it's like stuff that's not super deep spiritual or someone else will look at and be like, well, that's not the healthiest thing to do. But something that already exists that God would just nudge you and say, do this with them.
Yeah.
Get in their world. And it was going to work for y'all. So I'm just
So
going to encourage
if
you
you
in
show
that way.
interest in the gym, you could be like, babe, look, these are the times that work best for me. Can we build a schedule that you can work out with me at this time frame? He might be like, yeah, I can do that. Can you help me build a program? Look interested. This, like, you never know what that can spark. And not only that, it's sparking communication. Now you're talking to each other. You know what I mean? Like, you never know. Let God use that.
Well, let's look at this. Katie said, I start working at 4 a.m. every day. He's a teacher, so I don't see him all day. When he comes home, he's gone again for 5 hours to the gym because he is also a trainer.
Okay.
And I don't see him until like 10 all night, and that's what gets to me. Sounds like y'all just need some life changes.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's a full schedule.
Yeah, man.
That's a full schedule.
What's interesting is, and look, and I don't criticize people with this, but everybody, I'm sorry, this is bothering me, but everybody has, when y'all get married or life goes on, life happens to you.
Yeah.
And you end up with schedules that are not favorable to working on your marriage. And because of financial issues or just the way life is running, this is just the way it's got to go, And I always tell people, you got to take control of your life. You got to decide something's got to change. And even though we never had strenuous 9-to-5s and things like that, we always knew from the day we got married, we did not want our lives to control what we can and can't do. We want to be able to, in the middle of the day, take a day trip somewhere. We want to be able to do that. And it's like, we can't do that because my schedule doesn't allow for it. So we always knew we're going to one day dominate our schedule and our schedule not dominate us. We're going to build a life of financial freedom where we can do what we want when we wake up in the morning and not have to go answer a call and check in at a job. And so we began to pray and believe that way, but also make plans that way. And life happens. I remember one year we had heard a message in church. Our pastor talking about planning with your faith. So we wrote out a whole plan. We had a 20-year plan. And like the next month, life went sideways, disrupted the whole plan and got it off course for like 2 years. We're kind of only now getting back on course to that original plan. So life happens. I get it. But you have to happen to life and that life happened to you.
Amen.
And if you look at your life and say, this is not conducive to our kids, this is not conducive to our marriage, this is not conducive to our happiness. We just don't want to live this way. Y'all got to get together and say, hey, look, I'm not mad at you. You're not mad at me. This ain't none of our fault. But this life that we're living right now, the way it's going, it sucks. We don't want this. Do we want this in 10 years? Do we want this 20 years? So let's make a plan of how we're going to get out of this. Either we're going to start looking for new jobs or we're going to start a business together. We're going to pray for sure and let the Lord minister to us, but we're going to take control of our lives. And that's why I tell couples, like, a lot of times the problems they got is their lives and their jobs, stuff like that, and their family. Take control because it will not let you go. You got to take over it.
And even if your schedule won't change for a good while, you're going to have to carve out time where you're pouring into your marriage. So that's scheduled date nights. Have every Saturday, we're going to spend these hours together. We're not going to do work. We're not going to do gym. It's just going to be you and me. And we're going to pick something new that we both can learn about or get passionate about. It may not seem like enough at the moment, but it's being intentional about pouring life into your relationship. If it's once a month, couple times a month, but you plan it out and you look forward to it and you don't let nothing disrupt that, make intentional steps. And then as you grow and learn, God will create more ways for you to have more time together and have the schedule that you want. So you just got to work with what you have right now and don't say, I can't do it. I can't make it happen. It's too hard. If all I got is an hour, I'm going to take that hour. It's going to be the most productive hour I got. You know what I mean? So you have to just see what you have in front of you and maximize it.
Yeah.
Use it.
And then again, we use faith. Like we live by faith.
Yeah.
And so we believe all things are possible. There are things you want in life. Like your ultimate goal is you want a home gym.
I do.
You're trying, so I don't hear that and think, well, that's crazy. I think, Lord, we're gonna have a big enough house with a home gym.
Yep.
You know, our son, you know, like we talk a lot about his education, and it's very specific things we want. And that stuff costs money. It costs more than just public school. So it's like, Lord, you got to make this provision.
Yeah.
So we make plans, and we don't limit those plans by money and by resources right now. We say, God, you're a big enough God to do this. And we're establishing the kingdom. This is what we're seeking. So, Lord, you're going to provide the financial prosperity that's going to take to do this. You can provide the strength to do this, the health to do this. And we don't take anything lying down. Something happens in our bodies, we don't just say, oh, this is my health condition now. Now we're going to fight this. We believe in supernatural healing. And if there's something we got to look into medically to turn this around, that's what we're going to do. Those are the type of people that we are. And when I run into couples who just kind of let life happen, it gets on my nerves. So I'm like, of course, gravity is going to tear you down. You got to push back. And I'm going to segue into, I did not create the graphic yet for this. So just listen to what I'm saying. We have monthly trainings as part of Marriage U, our channel memberships. And so the next one is going to be like the last Thursday of this month. I believe it's going to be the 26th of March. And already the topic that we're going to talk about is building a marriage vision, building a marriage plan. And it's very similar to what we're talking about today about business. Like you build a business plan, you've got to build a marriage plan. And what we're going to show you how to do, because we've done this before, we're going to show you how to sit down and write out all your dreams, your aspirations, your hobbies, your ideas. And we're going to show you how to craft a vision for your marriage from God. And you're going to write down like this is you're going to put your family name on it. You're going to write down what our mission statement is as a family. Even when we have children come in, this is the family mission statement. This is what we're here to do. This is why God put us together. You're going to put in there what our vision is, and you're going to set long-term goals and short-term goals. It may be a business, it may be a ministry, but we're going to create the business plan for our marriage so that we can actually accomplish it and achieve the goal and set a plan so that we're not just 10, 20 years down the road, like what happened to us and we never did any things we wanted to do. There are people married right now. You've got dreams and aspirations that you've had since you were a kid, and God wants things to come out, but y'all never sat down and created a vision plan for your marriage together. So that is the live training that we're going to do the last Thursday of this month. I'll have the graphic by the time we do our next broadcast next week. But it's a part of our channel memberships, okay? So let me bring the graphic up real quick of the channel memberships because I do have that. All right.
Because this falls underneath our Marriage U content.
The School of Marriage is what we call it. So this is Marriage U. We just had our training last month on communication. That was great. It was awesome. You can go back and watch all of the archive trainings. These are some of the trainings up there right now. You can see them right here. We had a training on sexual intimacy. We had a training on overcoming pornography. We had a training on age gap marriages. We had a training on depression. We had a training on singles who were looking to become a wife. These are all trainings that are archived on this platform. You access it by becoming a channel member here on YouTube. Or if you're watching on Facebook, you can also become a subscriber on Facebook, okay? The subscription level is $2.99. So if you're on YouTube, there's a join button, click it. Or click the Linktree link that we dropped in the chat, and you can get it from there. So on YouTube or Facebook, you can join up, get all the archive trainings, and every month we do a new live training where you can interact with us, ask us questions, talk about your situation. And again, this month, we're going to be talking about building a vision and a plan for your marriage that you guys can go out and execute, okay? So we want you there. So sign up for this. Can you continue to talk about Marriage U a little bit and about this marriage plan thing while I grab something that I need to grab for the next segment? Sorry.
Well, Marriage U and its benefits. I really love Marriage U because it gives you opportunity to not only learn how to build your marriage in a more focused way, but you're able to also, if I'm correct, babe, they can call in on those lives. We have those lives a month. You can call in. You can get in the chat and talk with us, ask your questions, and we will answer your questions right then and there. A lot of people ask us for counseling or coaching. This is one way to do that for $2.99. Okay, you can be in the room for $2.99. I mean, listen, if you're gonna Netflix and chill, you can definitely Marriage U and grow. I coined that. You should definitely join up for $2.99. It's worth the investment. You're not going to regret it at all. So only for $2.99. We only have one subscription level because we want to make it available for everyone. I don't know what I can say about that.
We'll talk about the one we did last month.
Yeah, the one about eye to eye, that one was really, really good. I mean, we talked about, we said things in that discussion that we haven't said before. Like, we had revelation on things that we hadn't said before, and it was really, really awesome. So again, you're able to backlog and watch all of our previous content once you join, and you have access to all the things that we release monthly. We do a live training monthly on Marriage U.
Yep. So go ahead and sign up. We left it up there long enough. You can scan the QR code. You can always click the link that Cozy dropped in the chat and everything. But Marriage U is our platform. Again, $2.99 subscription, work on your marriage. And the trainings every month are awesome. You know, like we just had that last one. And so this is the Netflix of marriage. And for $2.99 a month, you're going to end up having access to like dozens and dozens of trainings and things like that for you and your spouse. It's awesome. So go ahead and sign up. I think it's well worth it. And we'll keep talking for the rest of the month leading up to this next training about building your marriage plan. So I'm excited for everyone to chat today. We had a very active chat. I appreciate all of you. And sorry I had to run off and grab something. You see what you got to understand about being in business and life and building a marriage plan. In the past 6 months, we have been in the most stress-filled, horrific, tragic moments of our lives. And we're here smiling and able to do this. It's not fake. This is the joy of the Lord. But if you can build the right kind of marriage, and we did a training that's on the archive right now called The Invincible Marriage. And we talked about how to build a marriage that can withstand all the trials of life. So no matter what happens, you're still standing. And that's why it's so important to have a plan, because when you're on your knees in tears because of the things that you are experiencing in life that just aren't fair, you can remember the vision. Like Jesus, who for the joy that was set before him despised the cross because he knew what it was, that the prize he was going for. And you've got to have that for your marriage. There's got to be a reason why we're together. Otherwise, you'll pull apart. But there's got to be a reason why we have to push, why we have to fight, why we have to work on our marriage, why we have to be united, why we have to push for this vision. It's not just about making money. It's not just about happiness. There is a vision from God that we've got to accomplish. And this is what's on the line. And we've got to push and make it work.
Without a vision, people perish.
And your marriage will perish without a vision. So please sign up for Marriage U. Get in on that training, and you'll be blessed, because you got to have a vision for your marriage if you want your marriage to not only survive, but to thrive. All right. You got anything else you want to chat?
Katie K said the last date night we both fell asleep. Our cat and our son was just standing there staring at us. Date night was at home.
We have done that Valentine's at home since we had JJ many a time. You got to pivot. You got to do what you got to do. It's good to get back out. It is very good. We've had to focus on making plans for that.
And I mean, we've had to include our son. You know, this last Valentine's, it was like, okay, this is a family Valentine's, you know, and we included him. But yeah, we've had date nights at home, even before him too. But you know, we would get our favorite food, and I would set up the room, put candle lights, and you know, the music was right, and it was just him and I. So you know, you get very creative, but you know, take time to go out, dress up, spend some time. You know, do something new. Maybe not always surrounded around food, you know. There's a lot of things you can do, but the point of the matter is make an effort. Yeah. Make an effort to do that. She also said, yes, the home gym. That is what I am working towards. Yes, girl, get that home gym.
Cozy said, I want heated bathroom floors and a sunroom.
And I'm coming to her house. Yep. Because I want the same thing.
I've been wanting a sunroom since before we was even married. Like, I know. Because I want to go out there and pray, and just like, I have the whole sunroom. We were looking at a house and it looked very close to what I was like, yeah, this is we're getting there. You got to build the life you want. Yeah. Cause you got to take it. You got to take it by force.
But I just kind of want to just kind of get back on that vision again, just before we go to the next segment, is you got to have vision, because without a vision, marriage will perish. But that vision gives you a reason to get up every day and fight for your marriage. Amen. Without that, it can be hard, because like you mentioned, the last 6 months have been very, very hard. And we haven't talked about it. Maybe one day the Lord releases to kind of share what we've been going through. But the vision of our marriage is so alive in us that even through the tears, even through the pain, we got up every day and we're taking the steps forward to make that vision come to pass. God is with us. And the devil's a joke, man. He's a joke. And he will test and he will try you. And he's trying to see if you really trust God. Yeah. If you really believe what God says. And we're going to make out the devil a lie. That's our determination. But we have a very clear vision as to what we want for our marriage. And it's not just to be successful on YouTube or be successful in any other business that we have outside of this. But it's to be pleasing to God, because I will not stand before God on Judgment Day and him saying, why didn't you do what I told you to do? And if that means turning off the camera and working on our marriage, that's what we want to do.
Amen.
Because it's all about the vision that God gave us for our relationship. So get a vision and let that burn. Let that be your motivation for everything that you do.
Amen.
Amen.
Shout out to Deborah on Facebook. She said, I'm so proud of you guys. Amen. Thank you for the powerful word. Thank you for being here,
Amen.
Deborah. We appreciate it. Thanks for liking the stream and sharing it. And again, if you guys want to be on that vision training, if you're on YouTube, there's a link in the chat, or you hit the link in our bio. Any of our platforms, hit the link in our bio. Facebook, it's in the chat. There's a little heart symbol. There's a little link symbol. Click either one of those. It'll take you to the link to sign up, become a Facebook subscriber. Let me just shout out our current channel members, everybody who's signed up for Marriage U. I love giving you guys a shout out because we do appreciate you guys supporting the channel in that way, but also investing in your relationships. So shout out to all the YouTube channel members: Ashanti Activities, Joy 3 Grace, Super King Zelton 7, Samantha Hughes, Envisioning Her, Johnny Trying To, Cozy Crochet, Fatala T, Kat G, Rouster Miller, Marked, Just Viewing, Lachey's Place, Elegantly Sophisticated, and Jessica B. Brave.
Hey.
And also shout out to the couples. We've got 2 on Facebook. We've got Archie and we've got Faith, I believe.
And we didn't talk about our channel. Our goal for today, our goal is that if you do a super chat, you get to choose the next topic.
That's right.
That we discuss. So if you do a super chat, we got about 30 minutes left of the podcast. You get to choose the next topic we talk about.
Exactly, because this right here is a topic that was chosen. We got a
Yep.
super chat on Monday, and someone donated for someone else to choose a topic. So this was a super chat topic, and I'm glad y'all chose this because this was a lot of fun. It was really good.
Yep.
And it seemed to mention to everybody in the chat. So if you want to choose the next topic, super chat on YouTube, 500 stars on Facebook, and then the goal we've got set on TikTok as well. Do that, and you get to choose in your super chat what exactly you would like us to talk about next. As long as it ain't crazy, we'll do it.
So what are we doing now? Are we doing reaction videos, or are we doing?
Yeah, that'll be the next thing.
Okay, so we started this thing a couple weeks ago where we react to. Is it divorce court?
We got a little bit. I got it everywhere now. Anything that comes up in the feed is relationship based. But yeah, there's a lot of divorce court in there. But it's a lot of different things.
And it's been so much fun.
It's been fun
because we get to talk about couple stuff.
Yeah, and react to
craziness. I love it.
All right, so I'm going to make sure that the browser is pulled up properly.
So right now we're about to react to some videos in the last 30 minutes. And some of the stuff is hilarious, man. But we learned a lot. We have a lot to say about these things. So I want to hear y'all in the comments as we watch this stuff. If y'all can't hear, let us know. If y'all can't hear.
Yeah, if the audio's not working, but it should be. So, all right, I'm going to go ahead and pull up this first video, and we'll go from there. Here we go. Oh, it's not even audio.
I can't even hear that one.
Right?
What's wrong?
Interesting. It starts up and stops. All right, let me refresh. I think it's nothing wrong with OBS. It's something wrong with the Facebook. All right, there we go. This should work this time. I'm pretty sure. Oh dang, maybe not. Let me try another one.
All right, moving on to the next one.
Let's try a different one.
Platonic relationship. I consider him a brother. We've gone to high school together. Over 10 years, we've known each other. I've been to family gatherings, family birthdays. He is now married, has 2 beautiful children I consider nephews. I have a rude relationship with the wife. And just over time, she's just become demeaning. She's very disrespectful. There was an incident that recently took place where I decided to actually sever the relationship from the both of them. So I want to know, am I wrong for severing the relationship prematurely, or should he be stepping in to diffuse certain situations within the communication?
What? He can't do that.
You want to put your reaction, his reaction to?
This boy can't stop.
I need to rewind that because she's saying she got a relationship with the husband, right?
She had.
Then
friendship.
He got married, and she considers his children her nephews, and all that blah blah. the wife is feeling a certain way about her, or the wife is treating her kind of disrespectfully or whatever. So she decided to sever the ties, and she's concerned whether or not she should have did that or not. What is I don't know.
No, I mean, say what you want to say. Because
What's wrong with her?
this is why we have the boundaries episodes, right?
Yeah.
Because actually, the way that whole situation ran down, good. It's done. Move forward in life. Because he's married
But I
now.
don't see why you feel like you got to have some sort of precedence or some sort of like place.
She said, should he be stepping in to diffuse it?
No. No. And if he does, he's an idiot. Girl, his wife comes first all the time. You are not a consideration. Whatever y'all had before he got married is done, over with. Okay.
Now, I don't know how rude she was. I don't know what. Look, I always try to, look at the whole thing, whatever like that. Regardless, though, if she's uncomfortable with that relationship, his responsibility as a husband is to say,
don't
okay.
ask him to step in and fix nothing.
Yeah.
Like, what is wrong? I want to hear what Steve Harvey had to say about it.
He pretty much agreed, if I remember correctly. Let me go back.
Step in, diffuse nothing. That's his wife.
Exactly.
If he come to your rescue,
He dead.
where he finna live?
Exactly.
I'm not. Now, I understand the dynamics of them being married, so I don't necessarily expect him to take up for me against his wife. But because there are certain communications that are held between her and I, where I'm handling it respectfully and she's handling it disrespectfully, and I'm making him aware of it, I feel he doesn't have the conversation with her to say, hey, what's going on?
First of all, how you gonna be telling on me, the wife, to my husband?
He needs to have a conversation where her handle it. No, whatever went down between you and the wife, whatever issue she has with you, whether it was born out of suspicion, and she or whatever it is, it doesn't matter. It's done. Yes, you severed it. That was the good move. It's done.
I don't listen.
It's done.
If you're a good friend,
It's done.
If you're a good friend,
It's done.
if you're a good friend, you should have bowed out a long time ago. I feel like you should be very. Again, I don't know the nature of the relationship. They say it was a platonic. How you say that? Platonic relationship and all that. That's fine, okay. And he's like my cousin, and these are my nephew, these are my brother. Okay, whatever. Bow out. Like even like your brother, okay. He's my brother-in-law, and when he got married, I just stepped back 2 steps. You know what I'm saying? Like that's his wife. And not that I was like but we were close. We were friends, but I just stepped back 2 steps. You know what I'm saying? Like I respect the space. I'm not going to try to have the same level of relating to him, relationship and conversation and time and all that stuff with him. He has a whole wife. Okay? And whatever she wants goes.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
He ain't got to consider my feelings about anything. About anything. Okay? He doesn't. He doesn't owe me that at all. And a good friend will understand that. So I take 2 steps back. Because there was a time before he got married. Like, let's look after Denzel, let's do it. But now he good. He good.
Yep.
He good. And whatever time we get to spend with him, whatever, I cherish that. Move on. Move on. That's what you do.
Yep.
But okay.
There you go.
I digress.
Chat. Let's you want to finish the rest of that? Or you think you got the general idea?
I think I got your idea. She
Okay.
said, Crazy Crochet said, "Oh, okay. He's speaking truth this time. His mustache still irritates me."
Yeah. So again, I pull up videos based on what people talks about that. That was good advice. He was correct in that advice. I don't know if he always gives good advice. I don't watch his show, but that was he was on point there, and it was kind of funny. But you just gotta take several steps back, and it is what it is. And I know people that's uncomfortable for people. They just can't wrap their minds around that. Like we should all be able to get along and do whatever. Marriage is a very, very exclusive relationship.
Very exclusive.
It is an exclusive covenant.
Very, very,
And
very.
That's it. I'm sorry. You leave and you cleave. There's men who stay too close to their mamas, and be interfering in a relationship. You gotta do this right, man. It's crazy. Let's see if I can get this other one to work correctly that we was trying to play first. If not, I'm just move on to the next one.
I love my husband.
There we go. This one will work now. Okay, let's play it back.
I love my husband to death, but he's a little narcissistic, and he made it seem like it's a fantasy, like me and the other woman to go hand to hand, go get our hair done, and be best friends and everything. But I think it's kind of, just so that he can have a dominant.
It's extra sex, is what it is, isn't it? I mean, that's what it is.
That's what I was thinking.
Don't say quite possibly.
Why they always look like that?
What is some
Why does
Snoop
he always
Dogg wannabe
when you
looking?
see every time this the dude suggesting
With the good hair.
polygamy and some random open relationship stuff, as soon as the camera cuts to them, it's like, yeah, I'd expect you to look that way. Why is that a thing? Okay,
what are your thoughts?
It will
on
keep
that
me
one?
from cheating. What she thinks I'm out cheating and I'm out doing other
Are
things.
you cheating?
No, ma'am.
I love my husband.
Yes, you are.
So what's the situation
Yes, you
again? What did I miss?
No. They just the caption. She's trying to turn the marriage to episode Sister Wives. He wants a
Oh, no.
polyamorous relationship.
No,
That's what he's trying to do.
sir, you should have just stayed single. And it's wrong then, but you should not marry somebody and then want to bring somebody to the marriage bed. Like that's a no. That's a no. So he thinks he's a player. He thinks too much of himself. He thinks he's pretty, and that's his problem.
And
You
he's
can get that vibe.
because she thinks I'm out cheating. So this way, like, no, just say what you want to say.
No,
bro.
no.
Just say what you want to say, bro.
No.
Yes, you are out cheating.
Yes.
You didn't come to this conclusion out of nowhere.
No, but you know what? I got a feeling that she knew this. She saw the signs, but she just ignored it because again, a lot of women think they can change the man. If he got me, if I change my wig a few times, maybe he'll just stick with me. No, he's been this way for a minute, and you
The
know
sad
that.
reality is they probably already before they were married done something to that
Probably,
regard.
probably.
And now he's just trying to keep it going.
We're speculating, but probably.
Sad. It's sad. We did a whole video. We have another podcast called live show we do called Inside the Conversation. We talk politics and culture. We do a whole episode of polyamory, and we tore that thing down. But
That's just dumb.
all right, this one is a completely different program. This ain't divorce court or anything. I don't know if we need to run the whole video, but it's one I kind of like.
I had a lady the other day come in full frontal hug around the neck. And I say, ma'am, you can't do that.
And
what
she
did
was
say?
like, why? I said, because I said so.
I know that's right.
I said, you bold enough to do it. I'm bold enough
I
to say
know
so.
that's right.
Get off of him.
I know that's right.
What if you wasn't even fresh?
I know that's right. Give me 50 feet.
Baby, come on.
I mean, that cougar was like, yeah.
Well, this is what we do all the time. This is what I get all the time. I get it for free.
I'm going to charge you next week.
No, you don't get it for free. She was just an old church mother. She was just excited to see Dave as a church mother.
No.
But we
Then
were,
she ought to know better.
Right.
yes, and we were
She
doing
saw
a
him
meet.
as a son.
It was
No.
a meet and greet, but it
No.
was. But the people got hold to her though.
The people told her up.
The people got hold to her.
When she say, why I can't hug him like that? I said,
Because he ain't your husband, shusha.
yes. I had a
It's funny.
Listen.
100% agree. But it's funny. So like, even, go ahead. I'll try. Yeah.
Listen, ladies.
You don't come up with there's levels to this of threat. This is full threat. You don't
Listen.
round
Everybody know. In the church world, side hugs. Side hugs. That's about
If
all.
that.
If that.
We don't even do that in our church.
But if you get a hug, it's gonna be a side hug. And look, armpits ain't gonna be. You're gonna be like this. It's a tap.
It's like this is what I do. But like this kind of I'm tall. I kind of lean in.
lean in.
Boom, like boom.
Like, girl, if
Then
I'm
you gotta
gonna
even
tell you,
touch.
I'm gonna tell you right now. If I see a woman up on my man like this, first of all, I'm coming in from the side with a kick. Y'all gonna see Casey in the air, full kick, ready to go.
I'd love to see that.
Like, just go. And then I'm gonna be in my man's face because I'm gonna figure out why didn't you push her with all the might you have.
That's if I had a fear, it was that I wouldn't react harsh enough because
I need
am
her
a nice
on the
dude.
ground.
And so I know what I'm not going to do, and I put barriers in place so things don't happen. But if it happened, my concern is I wouldn't.
I'm gonna tell you, bro.
Let me tell you.
Let me tell you right now. Let me tell you right now. This is what I want you to do. I'm giving him instructions right there online. If a woman come up to you and you see her going like this, you better turn your shoulder, like a linebacker. Turn your shoulder.
I mean, at the very least, I would think I wouldn't embrace. My hands would just be like,
no,
like this happening to me.
Because now you wide open. Because she could be filling up on you. No. Close it down, shoulder. You know what I'm saying?
Remember that.
Close it down, shoulder. We're not doing that. Like I've been caught off guard before because some men are just huggers. I don't know where they come from, but they do, and they come for a deeper. I'm like, I don't need to hug you if you ain't my brother or like some really close relative of mine. We're not doing the body hug. That's why I call it body hugs. We're not doing body hugs.
Oh,
but especially if you don't know me.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like you at a meet and greet. They just did a show or something, I guess. And I can just greet you. Like what
people have these fantasies, man.
I think it's just to me the awkwardness of it. Like
people
you
have
don't
this fantasy.
know me to hug you like that.
I want to know how you feel. I want to know how you smell. Like women, look, they lonely. They dusty.
Why does it be dusty?
They're lonely and dusty.
All right, let's go to the chat. Katie said, these women don't know their limits. Step back, Satan. Yep. Cody said, oh, y'all need to talk about the show Sister Wives. LOL, that was a mess. Look, if y'all got clips. All right, so Cozy, drop the link tree again. Shout out to Cozy. She's our moderator. Drop the link tree again. If you're watching and there's stuff y'all want us to react to, we have in the link tree, there's an ask us a question form. Instead of asking us a question, you can ask a question, but instead of asking a question, just drop a link to something you want us to react to if you want us to react to something. Because we're doing this now. And it's different shows. So if you see something relationship related that's funny and you want us to react to it, just do the form in the link tree and send it to us. All right. What Katie said, my husband is an elder of the church, and I've seen women trying to give godly hugs, and he knows how to use his elbow to keep them at a distance before they even get close.
Yep.
It is sad how often it happens. Now, your dad's pastor, and you saw it all the time.
A
It's
lot.
ridiculous,
Women,
people.
they love a man that carry himself well, that can talk well. They love it. And the women would just be there. And my dad had an armor bearer, and he had always kind of like, play defense on that because women are nuts. Men too, but women are nuts. They're a little more bold, and they come all dressed up. It's smelling
what
good.
I notice about men, most times they do it verbally. I mean, you do have men who physically will try to grab you, but they'll do it verbally, like a snake, try to get in. And they'll do it if the husband's not around or they don't know if there's a man present.
Sometimes men want to, shake your hand a little too long.
Yeah, but a lot of times if the man isn't present or they don't know if you got a man, they feel like you're uncovered, they can get in there. But if they see a man, most times they'll be respectful and they'll back up. And now there may be a new breed of man now, but I'm just saying they'll be like, oh, okay, out of respect to that man, I ain't going to try to shoot my shot. But there'll be women who the wife will be right there, and they'll still try it, and this is disrespectful. It's
and
like,
y'all gotta look out for these older ladies, man, for these grandmamas, because they ain't playing.
Yeah,
I told you, people living longer and they stronger. All
Rosie
right.
said, lonely, dusty, and crusty.
Listen.
Shout out to Mighty Spirit in the chat. You've been here dropping laugh emojis and amens. We appreciate you. Thanks for being here. Oh, everybody, where you from? You ain't got to give your address, but like, what side of the country you on? You in the U.S.? What's your time? Like, let us know where you watching from. We always love knowing where everybody's from. All right, next video. How much time? Oh, you've got plenty of time. All right, next video. Let me see here. This one is from. Okay, this one's a tame.
A tame one?
Yeah, like ain't nothing crazy.
It is my fault because I don't feel comfortable having sex because of the weight that I gained. I don't feel like I look good enough to just do all that stuff that he want me to do. He tells me all the time that I'm beautiful, but I just don't see it because I gained so much weight. So that's why we don't have sex as much.
Can I say this to you, Mrs. Roberson? You are absolutely beautiful.
Thank you.
You should see what I see. I think I see what he sees.
I don't know what the rest of the episode was, but man, that's a common one.
Yeah.
What a conversation. She said, I don't feel like I can do all the things that he want me to do. So here's the thing when it comes to the bedroom, right? We know what we got. We know you ain't the supermodel on the magazine, whatever like that. I never got the attraction of supermodels. Too skinny, in my opinion. But anyway.
Okay, and then the internet going to be like, you think you're discriminating.
I call me discriminatory. I got my wife. It doesn't matter. I am discriminatory. I've discriminated to choosing my wife. It's, you know, I'm exclusive. But what I'm saying is, you're thinking only women who look this way can do these things. And we're thinking, you're the one I got, and I want to do these things, and I want to do them with you, you know? And so that's kind of the mindset. But common concern.
You know, it's a common insecurity for most women. We gain weight, and we just think that, oh, I'm not pretty anymore. I struggle with that, too. You know, my husband want me to wear certain clothes, wear certain things. And I'm like, my stomach's sticking out too much. Like, girl, my thighs ain't built for this. But that's what he wants to see, especially in the bedroom, you know? I always tell women who deal with this, believe your husband. If he's asking for you, if he's telling you, I love that, believe him, okay? Believe him, especially if he's a good man, believe him. You need to work on yourself. You got to work on that internal conversation that you constantly play over and over and over your head that I'm not pretty, I'm not this, I'm not who I used to be, whatever. Listen, a real husband, a real good man understands you're going to change. We all change. We're not going to be exactly the same, especially after a few babies. Like, things don't fall in the same direction anymore, and that's okay. And it will take time, but just lean into what he wants. Now, if he's asking you to do something that's like unsafe or you're not comfortable with communication, again, communication, find a halfway point. You know, sometimes when you are a certain size, your acrobatic skills are not where they need to be. I'm just saying. And
I will say, as men, we don't really grasp that. Like, you can do that. It's like, nah.
Yeah, you know, I'm not as acrobatical as I used to be. So it just is what it is. But, you know,
confidence is everything.
Yeah, confidence is everything.
Pretending. Because here's my thing. I have seen men cheat on their wives with women that are less attractive than their wives. But those women are brash and confident. And they approached that man and made him feel something that made him say, well, I'm sorry, it's a real thing. I'm going to expose men here. You know, it is possible for us to look at somebody and be like, oh, they're not attractive. But if she approaches and is brash enough and confident enough and carries herself with a level of confidence beyond what she should have based on classical beauty standards, it could make a man go, well, we got to turn our sideways, squint, and be like, well.
Confidence can definitely make you see
I saw
beauty.
A story, and she was an influencer, so she was already a confident person. Super obese. I'm not trying to, like, by any standard, this was obesity. The husband, he himself was a heavyset man, cheated with this woman. Matter of fact, I can tell you the story because y'all know what this is. It's the influencer that got sued in the state of North Carolina, and the wife that got cheated on won the lawsuit. So y'all already know what I'm talking about. So it came out, big scandal. Whenever you see the wife, she's also, everybody in this scenario is heavyset, but she's like heavyset, husband heavyset, the woman that you cheated with, obese. I'm not trying to be mean. This is just, everyone would look at what I'm saying.
Their
and say,
size were on a spectrum.
She was on the extreme end of the spectrum. And I looked at it and I'm like, your wife is an attractive woman. And this obviously wasn't an issue of, I'm not attracted to you anymore because you let your body go. I don't know what you like when y'all first got married. This other woman was heavier than your wife and less attractive than your wife. And you cheated with this woman. But when you watch this woman's videos, you can see her personality. And I clocked that. I was like, it was personality. It was her confidence. She approached this man. She came on strong. She promised him a bunch of stuff that his wife wasn't willing to do for him. And he fell for it. And now blew up his marriage over this foolishness. And that happens. So I'm not telling you to compete with the seductresses out there. But I am saying confidence goes a long way. And for that reason, men, we're attracted to confidence. So with whatever body you working with, be confident. Work with it.
Cozy Crochet said, girl, turn the lights off and imagine you're skinny.
Go for it. I mean, might as well. A lot of people are doing that. A lot of people with the lights on outside wearing things that I'm thinking, why are you wearing that? People imagine they're skinny every day. You can do it in your bedroom. I be seeing people today and I'm like, you see something different than what I see. We've got reverse body dysmorphia.
Look, know your weight challenge. Cozy Crochet said, now ladies, don't be hanging from the ceiling fan. That's dangerous because that wall gonna break. Yes. Katie K said, you don't gotta tell me twice. Thank God there's no ceiling fan in my room.
Oh, Cozy dropped the names. Kim and Brenny. I could talk about that whole case. Cozy, you're gonna need to call in one of these days and like just gotta talk as we talk about these things. What did Katie say? She said, "My son is 14. I still have baby fat."
Listen, at that girl,
I'm under the impression that doesn't go away.
Listen, no, you got teenage fat. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. No judgment here. No judgment here at all.
I remember we used to CrossFit a lot. So we were in the CrossFit gym. You had JJ, he's a couple years old. And we're standing there, and there's a lot of people in there. Men work out with their shirts off. Women work out in sports bra, little shorts, whatever. So they're all working out. It's just, it's the culture of them. I'm just sitting there, and some of these women are sporting. And I wasn't ogling them or anything, but it was like this switch flipped in my brain. And maybe it doesn't happen for all husbands, and I wish it did. But this switch flipped in my brain, and I was like, I am not impressed with any of these women in here who got the muscles and got the flat stomachs and all that stuff, because I knew none of y'all had kids. None of y'all had babies.
A lot of them didn't have kids yet.
And I was like, everybody that was in that room at that point, that worked in that gym, didn't have kids. And I was like, so your bodies don't impress me. If you had kids and you worked out and got what you got, impressive. You get a gold star. But I was at that moment in time, as a father and a husband to a mom, something switched in my brain where I was no longer impressed with anybody that hadn't had a kid. I'm not saying that you shouldn't be impressed amongst yourself. I'm just saying me. And so something just flipped for me, and my standards just kind of shifted,
Look, bodies change. You know what I'm saying? Bodies change. I always promote being healthy, but baby fat, yes. Babies change your body permanently. Hormones change. Focus change. Like, I am the heaviest I've ever been in my entire life. And it's been about, I would say, maybe 11-ish years that I've been in this weight class. Sound like a bodybuilder. In this weight class. And it's been quite frustrating. But these last 10 years have been like, a lot of stuff have changed. A lot of stuff. I haven't had the same focus like I did before I got married, before I had children. Like, I used to be a gym girl. Like, I used to be in there 5 days a week, 6 a.m. I would come home from work after 8-10-hour day. I would go on a treadmill. I would run 3-4 miles before bed. Okay. Like, I was active. Then I danced too, in my church. Like, I was very, very active, but I had the time. I had the energy to do it. Now I do not. So my activity level has changed a lot, and hormones have changed. Just a whole lot of stuff has changed. So I have to give myself grace, and I'm working towards a goal. But in that process, in that time, I can't be unattractive to my husband. And what I mean, I'm not talking about my physicality, but I can't just cover myself up and just be like, I'm not pretty, I'm not good, you shouldn't like me, why are you liking me? Because I used to question, like, why are you finding this pretty? Like, why are you looking at me like this? Because I felt insecure about my body. And at some point, I had to trust that what he saw, he liked. And I had to play into it.
Yeah. And I mean, and one thing I've learned as a husband is, no matter what we say, it's internal for you guys.
Yep.
And real quick, Nicole on the Vertical Stream YouTube said, it's not just how you feel, but it's also more difficult and even boring because it gets limited. And there's a shame that comes with it. Currently in my life, only 1.5 years in, and that is Nicole. Nicole, there's even more going on there than just the physical. Like you said, it's not just how you feel, but there's a whole lot going in there. We did a training on Reignite Your Sexual Intimacy on Marriage U. I would encourage you to sign up and watch that, 'cause I think it's a good first step. But maybe we should also just do an episode on sexual intimacy and body changes, just the practical side of it.
One.
We did an episode on intimacy about safe sexual template, but we probably should really get into practical, because we've been through enough changes in our lives to kind of tackle these things. And one thing about sex, as far as a limitation, like some men, and this is what happens when you have men who are like porn adult brains and they've seen a lot of things, or even the same thing with women. And so you're looking for all this variety, things like that. But one thing I can say is, I was being married for a while. You find the one or two things that work, and let's just do what works.
Listen, do you want variety or do you want consistency?
Exactly.
You got to choose.
And sometimes you got to be practical and say, in this stage of life, with kids, with limited time and limited mobility because of our physicality or whatever, we got these 1-2 positions or sexual acts that we like, and we're going to focus on that and do that.
Yeah.
And this is what's going to work for us. And you can... some people are like, well, I don't want to settle down, whatever like that, whatever, but focus on where you are at life and pivot with life. because sex can be pleasurable. I don't care what size you are. And there are health things too. Sometimes your health is limiting your pleasure. Sometimes your health, and it usually correlates with size too. But it's like, if your health is getting in the way of sexual pleasure, then you got to work on that.
Yeah.
But we should do a whole episode on that. So
yeah,
I
and
think
Katie,
I want to.
Katie K said, my husband tells me all the time he loves me just the way I am. He just wants me to be healthy, and I get it. I just feel unattractive sometimes, and I'm working on it. Girl, yes, like that was me. And especially for you, your husband's in the gym all the time, and he's a trainer, so he's around probably what we consider a fit body, so that can make you feel insecure to be in the gym with him. I get that. My husband has always maintained some sort of fit body, in my estimation, he has a model body. And I would stand next to him and think, why would anybody think we're together? Like, it's the conversation. It's a negative conversation, and it's not from God. It is not from God. Don't push your husband away emotionally because you just can't get on that. And yes, I get it. It's not always fun, but just jump in like the pool. It's cold. The water's cold. Just jump on in, get your head under, and move towards it. And
accentuate. I mean, so your husband, you're beautiful. You're beautiful. One day, sit down and ask her husband, what exactly do you like features-wise in my body?
Yeah.
And write it down if you got to. Not just for your own confidence, but sexually speaking, if you're in the bedroom, what is he like? We're all adults here, right? I could be a little PG-13 rated R here. Does he like the breasticles? Is that what he likes? Does he like your breastises? Is that what?
Is he a booty man?
You could accentuate that. Is it the butt? Accentuate that. Is it your legs? Is it your face? Is it an activity you do in the bedroom? Because whatever it is that he really likes about you in a sexual context, just focus on that.
Or is it you as a whole? Sometimes, look, he's been with, I don't know how long I've been married, but y'all got life experience together. There's value in your relationship that he is not going to find with someone else. And he's not willing to waste that on waste that and say, oh, you don't have no value. He's looking at you as a whole person and not just the weight you've gained over the years. You brought value to his life. And I know you may not have heard it that way from him. I don't know. But if he's saying that I love you just the way you are, believe it. Just choose to believe it. Believe it. Just okay. I believe you. And then step into his world a little bit. Hang out with him. Learn what he likes. And you'd be surprised. Just because he's around a lot of fit bodies all the time that look good, it don't mean he like that for him. He married to you. He's with you. Y'all got a life together, and there's a reason for that. And it's not all just about bodies. Sometimes, like a doctor, they see a lot of naked bodies all the time. We think, oh, they must go crazy. Nah, after a while, it all looks the same. It's all the same.
I'm making notes for this next episode. All right. So we were like, this is going to be a topic that we're going to handle probably next week. If you've got specific questions on the topic of practical sex tips, and we can get raw here. We're adults here. This is married folks. If you're single, this may be an episode for you right now. But if you've got specific questions you want to ask about tips, ideas, and get as raw as you want, submit them. Cozy, please drop the link tree to the so they can go in there and ask us a question. Okay, you can even do the call-in option if you want. But we're going to talk about it next week. But if you got questions to go along with this, like, what can I do where pleasure is limited? What can I do when flexibility is limited? What can I do when I just don't like my body? What can I do when he isn't interested? What can I do when I don't fit lingerie? Like, whatever. Any questions? We're going to try to handle as much as we can, but also want to talk about things that you guys are going to be interested in. So submit those questions to us. Cozy's going to drop the link tree in a minute here. We're over time. And you guys can submit the questions so we can handle it. But we're going to tackle it next week. Practical sex tips in marriage as you're going through life and body changes. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And that whole episode will be a hot topic. Cozy, I did see what you were mentioning that court case, and that'll be a hot topic. So if you want to send us some info on that, and you want to be on the call while we talk about it or something and give us the breakdown, we can set that up too. But I think that'll be a great topic for everyone. So thank you everyone who's been commenting, who's been participating. Thank you, Nicole, again. Nicole, you're on a vertical stream, so we can't drop the link for you. You got to go to the link in our bio to get it, because we can't do links in the vertical. Everybody else, go to the link in our bio, grab that link tree, submit your questions in regards to sex and marriage, because we're going to talk about it. It's going to be a lot of fun, and we're going to get a little raw and real and try to help everybody out as best we can. Katie says, save the link. Awesome. Yeah, go ahead and submit your questions, y'all. It'll be fun. All right, we are over time here, but we love you guys. We thank you for tuning in to this episode. If you're watching this on replay, you can still, if you have a topic idea in mind, you can still do a super thanks to submit to get your topic in. But we love you guys. And
we'll see you.
We'll see you next time.
Yep. Bye-bye.
See you guys.